My wife's a CEO. Or, well, she was, until she went bankrupt. Now everyone thinks I'm gonna take the money and run. I mean, can you blame them? I'm the good-looking trophy husband who only ever cared about her money, spending her cash, living the high life that was my entire job description. But here's the twist. I'm actually thinking of sticking around to help her make a comeback. Because when she's back on top, the pocket change she loses in the couch cushions could set me up for life. But what if? What if the bankruptcy is just an act? See, I woke up inside this novel, and it's already the final chapter. The gorgeous CEO I'm married to, she's the villainess, fresh off a major loss to the story's heroine. I can still picture the book's final, brutal lines about her. The only things Clare White has left are her husband sleeping in that bedroom, and her collection of ridiculously expensive watches and clothes. But even Claire knows the man who only ever noticed her to ask for cash will soon be gone, taking her watches and wardrobe with him, leaving her with absolutely nothing. I rub my temples. My newly bankrupt wife. I let out a long, quiet sigh. Honestly, since we got married, Claire's treated me pretty damn well. Now that she's hit rock bottom, ditching her with the loot just feels wrong. The least I can do is stick around until she's earning again, or at least gets back on her feet. After getting my thoughts straight, I get up and start dealing with the disaster zone that is our new apartment. It takes a solid 3 hours, but I finally manage to shove everything into a corner of my room. The pile is impressive. Over 100 watches and more than 80 outfits. Right now, I'd trade all the clothes for more watches in a heartbeat. They're just so much easier to unload. I finally wake up at 2 in the afternoon, my stomach screaming at me. I grab the wallet off the coffee table, just as I thought. My ID, a bank card, and about 700 yuan. As for the kitchen, yeah, I've never even been in there. We just moved in, neither of us cooks, so it's a ghost town. Guess I'm on my own for food. Luckily, the apartment Claire rented may be small, but it's got one hell of a perk. There's a whole row of restaurants right downstairs. I head out and grab myself a quick bowl of noodles. Remembering the nearly empty bathroom cabinet, I stop by the supermarket on the way back, returning with a huge bag of essentials. I even grabbed a set for Claire. The colors, the styles. I picked everything based on what the original guy remembered she liked. Then, I start cleaning. I push open the door to Claire's room. Besides a few things on her desk and bookshelf, it's basically just a bed and the bare minimum. I sigh. This has to be rough. Asking a woman raised in luxury to live a life like this. I look around and just get to it. Time flies, and by the time the whole place is spotless, it's already 10 at night. I get cleaned up, lay out some late-night snacks on the table, and get ready to finally eat. The second I rip open a snack and lift it to my mouth, the front door clicks open. I look up, and my eyes meet a gaze as clear and calm as an autumn lake. The woman in the doorway just watches me, her expression a total mystery. She glances away, her eyes scanning the room, and for just a second, a flicker of surprise crosses her face. Her gaze snaps back to me, and I finally get a good look at her. She's stunning. No joke. Worthy of every over-the-top description the author ever wrote. Under her intense stare, I find myself gripping my chopsticks tighter, a weird nervousness creeping in. I mean, I'm an imposter, a total stranger in her husband's body. There's no way someone like Claire wouldn't notice something is off, right? Those eyes. They feel like they can see right through you. Did you hire a cleaner? Was there enough money? Her voice is flat, but there's a hint of suspicion there. I shake my head automatically. No, I did it myself. You did it yourself? Claire stares, clearly shocked. We lock eyes for a beat before she looks away first. Do you have enough money? She asks. It's enough. What about you? The question slips out before I can stop it. The second I say it, I regret it. The question makes her look at me again, that surprise back in her eyes. Then she just says, quietly, enough. After that, total silence. Claire glances at the food on the table, then she suddenly says, I'm sorry. At first, I don't get it. I look up, follow her gaze to the cheap snacks, and quickly shake my head. No, you have nothing to be sorry for. Claire walks over and sits on the far end of the sofa, choosing her words carefully. The assets have pretty much been liquidated. Everything in my name is gone. There's nothing left, but there's no debt either, so you don't have to worry. I have about 30,000 yuan left on me. Once this settles, I'll find work as soon as I can. You should have 60,000 on your card, and I've already paid 6 months rent here. If you want a divorce, she continues, I'll give you another 20,000. You can stay here until you find a new place. I know exactly what she's saying. Claire is being more than fair. Our total combined assets are 90,000 yuan. So, my wife is offering me a divorce deal. Her terms? I get 80% of everything, plus the apartment. She's even letting me keep all the watches and clothes, which leaves her with 1 room and 10,000 yuan. I just stay quiet, Claire adds, and in the future I'll give you a cut of my earnings each month, at least 3,000. I can't promise more right now, I don't know what's coming, but if I get a chance to make a comeback, I'll make it up to you. I immediately shake my head. The second I do, Claire goes completely silent. Okay, maybe that came across wrong. I quickly jumped in. No, I don't want a divorce. And I don't need your money, I've got enough. I'm okay with how things are. I'll cut back my spending and earn my own way. You don't need to put all this pressure on yourself. A normal life doesn't cost that much. Her eyes widened. You don't want a divorce? Claire just stares at me. But yesterday, you said. And then it hits me. Oh, right, yesterday's little incident. I'd called her useless, demanded a divorce. My face hardens as I try to explain. I was drunk. I didn't mean it. I've thought it over, and I can't divorce you. Not like this. We're married, and I'm going to start pulling my weight. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. Hell, I might even take care of you. As soon as I say it, the look Claire gives me gets even stranger, but she drops it. If you don't want a divorce, then fine. Whenever you change your mind, just say the word. Then, Claire gets up and heads to the bathroom. I duck my head and just keep eating, feeling awkward as hell. I hear her footsteps pause right inside the bathroom door for a few seconds. She must have noticed how different it looks now. Then, the water starts running. By the time I finish eating, Claire's already done, and none of the weirdness I expected. Just, thank you, get some rest. I run a hand through my hair, feeling like I'm in a total dream. I try to get my thoughts straight, then head to the bathroom myself. Back in my room, I flip open my laptop and quickly set up a personal shop on a resale site. Then, I shut it and go to sleep. The next morning, I'm up at 6:30. Pure habit. I grab the ingredients I bought, get the porridge started, and then jet downstairs for steamed buns and fried dough. When I get back, Claire is just walking out of her room. She hears the door, looks up, and sees the food in my hands. She literally rubs her eyes, like she can't believe what she's seeing. Good morning, I brought breakfast, and there's porridge on the stove. Go wash up. It'll be ready when you're done. I walk to the kitchen without waiting for her reply, totally ignoring the shocked look on her face. Since we've both been staying up way too late, I made a red bean and jujube porridge. It's good for energy. When it's ready, I pour out 2 bowls. Then I plate the buns and dough sticks, boil some eggs, and throw together a few side dishes. By the time Claire comes out, there's a breakfast spread on the table that's almost fancy. The scene should feel cozy, but Claire, she's not feeling it. She knows her husband, and in nearly 3 years of marriage, I have never once stepped into the kitchen, never touched a single chore. The only thing I've ever been good at is blowing through cash. Even the background check she ran before our wedding didn't say I could do any of this. Her mind's racing. Was I hiding it the whole time? We always had maids before, so I never had to, I tell her. Now it's just the 2 of us, and money's tight. We can't keep eating out. My cooking isn't anything special, but it's edible. So if you don't mind, you can eat here from now on. She narrows her eyes. So, when Grandpa asked if you could cook, you lied. She says this, then picks up her spoon to try the porridge. I pause, then just laugh it off. My cooking is nothing compared to a professional's. I figured Grandpa was used to gourmet food. I didn't want to make a fool of myself. It's a flimsy excuse, but it works. Claire just nods. It's actually pretty good. I watch her eat, still perfectly elegant even now, and it hits me. Asking a woman raised on the world's finest food to eat street food? Yeah, that's a lot to ask. After breakfast, Claire starts to take the dishes to the kitchen. I stop her immediately. Don't worry about it. I'll clean up. Go do what you need to do. I have some business to handle, she says. I probably won't be back until evening. Don't wait up for me. Call if you need anything. The second Claire leaves, I finally let out a breath. I swear, even at her absolute lowest, that woman still carries herself like a queen. That invisible pressure she gives off never really goes away. If I hadn't seen a few things in my day, I'd probably have cracked. I've got a lot to do today, and it's not just grabbing stuff for the apartment. I also need to photograph all my watches and clothes and get them listed online. Selling it all should net me over $1,000,000 yuan. But when Claire wants to make a move, she's gonna need some cash. Plus, I need to get a feel for this world's online scene and maybe get back to my old hustle. See, back in my world, I wrote web novels. My degree was in interior design, but after I graduated, I wasn't feeling the 9-to-5 life. So, I just started writing. Picked up odd jobs for cash. Honestly, life was pretty sweet. I power through the dishes, then grab my list and head out. Shopping's not my thing, so I grab what I need and bolt right back home. Then, the real work begins. Photographing all the watches and clothes. I'm at it until the sun goes down. By the time I'm done with the watches, I am completely drained. I nuke the leftover buns from this morning and call it dinner. Then I escape to my room for some web fiction. My body's clocked out for the day. Time to work the brain. 2 hours later, I slam my hands together. Victory. I chug the cold coffee on my desk in one go. Turns out the web novel scene in this world is seriously lagging behind my old one. Every single story I've ever written could be remade here, but way better. This is a literal goldmine. And just then I hear the front door open. I pause for a sec, then drag myself out in my slippers. Gotta do what you gotta do. I'd noticed this morning. Someone forgot to lock the door from the inside last night. Claire's used to living in a fancy villa with security guards. She probably forgets that in a normal house you have to, lock your own doors. The second she sees me, she freezes, coat half off. Oh, you're back. Hey, I noticed the door wasn't bolted last night. Back at the villa, security was always handled for us. Not anymore. A door like this needs to be bolted at night, or a thief could pop it open in seconds. She just nods. Got it. The air between us is so thick with awkward, you could cut it with a knife. So I force myself to talk. You eaten? Yep, I got more stuff for the apartment today. If you need anything, just tell me and I'll grab it, nothing I can think of. And the conversation is dead. What else is there to say? I give it 3 seconds, then make the call. Time to retreat. All right then, I'll be in my room. Holler if you need me. The moment my door clicks shut, I hear her start looking around, checking the kitchen, then the bathroom. The apartment suddenly feels way more full. More lived in. He's actually serious about this, she's thinking. It's like he's a totally different person now. I have no clue what's going through Claire's head. I'm too busy fighting this ancient laptop. The original Ethan was smart enough to get into a good college, but he slacked off the whole time. His computer skills? An absolute disaster. This thing is painfully slow. I gotta clean this junk out and see what the old Ethan was really doing on here. As I'm digging through files, I find a photo folder. It's got a bunch of subfolders, mostly selfies, a few pics of his parents, and then I see it. One folder at the very end with a garbled nonsense name. I click it, and wow, it's filled with pictures of another woman. She's got that high society influencer look. Pretty, I guess, but so not my type. There's just something about her smile. It's all soft and innocent like it's a performance, and seeing how close they are in the photos makes my stomach turn. I frantically check the dates on every photo, all before the wedding. Oh, thank God. That was close, way too close. I keep a few of the most boring-looking ones and nuke the rest. Instantly. By now I've put the pieces together. This woman was the original Ethan's college girlfriend, some rich girl named Aries, but they broke up ages ago. There is zero reason to keep any of this. Man, am I lucky Claire isn't the snooping type. If she'd found these photos, it would have been a catastrophe waiting to happen. By the time the laptop is finally sorted, it's almost 11 p.m. I yawn and faceplant straight into bed. The next morning, I'm up even earlier. But this time, I don't go out. Instead, I whip up some fried rice and a couple of side dishes. By the time Claire finally gets up, breakfast is pretty much on the table. She walks out of the bathroom just as I'm plating. She stares at the food and just blinks. You can make fried rice too? Sure. I'm no pro chef, but I can handle basic home cooking. It's nothing fancy, but it's edible. Don't get your hopes up. Claire cautiously takes a spoonful, and her eyes widen. This is good. Really good. Glad you like it. By the way, I'll be home for lunch today. That throws me for a loop, but only for a second. Then I snap right back. What do you feel like eating? Whatever you make is fine. But I'd like rice. Okay, how about sweet and sour ribs, stir-fried tomato and egg, and an egg drop soup? Is that enough for you? That's plenty. Okay then. You go focus on your work. I got this covered. After breakfast, Claire grabs her coat and leaves. And just like yesterday, I clear the table. Just outside the building, Claire slips into a black car that's been waiting for her by the gate. Behind the wheel is her former assistant, Sophie, but more than that, a childhood friend her grandpa chose to grow up right beside her. The second Claire settles in, Sophie holds out a bag. Claire, breakfast, no need. Already ate. Ethan made fried rice. Sophie freezes mid-motion. Wait, Ethan can cook? That's news to me. Yesterday he made porridge. I thought that alone was a miracle. When he said he could cook, I was sure he was lying. Then boom, fried rice this morning. I told him I'd be home for lunch, and he's already planning the menu. Sophie scowls at this. He's not planning something sketchy, is he? You two barely talked, and he was always completely useless. Hold on, didn't he want a divorce? I already looked into the whole process. Why the sudden silence on that? Claire looks up, a cryptic smile playing on her lips. He says he doesn't want a divorce anymore. He's made peace with it, says he'll work hard, earn his own money, and that I shouldn't stress myself out. Claire leans back against the headrest, her tone unreadable. Huh, so he can't bear to watch you suffer and decided to tough it out with you. If that's for real, then he's not so bad. The guy did absolutely nothing in college. And the 2 years we've been married, all he did was burn money. One day, he's demanding a divorce. The next, he's a completely different person. What do you think? People say hard times show you who someone really is. Maybe his conscience finally woke up. You never know what people are made of until things go south. And we've seen plenty of people turn their backs on us lately. Maybe Ethan is just the kind of guy whose true colors only shine when things get rough. Maybe. Let's go. Either way, he's not getting in my way. I'll just watch and see. Meanwhile, I'm spending my morning taking pictures of clothes. Over 80 outfits? No way. Keeping a dozen for appearances is more than enough. I'll sell the rest. Use the cash to get some normal clothes. 2 hours in and I'm only halfway through this mess. I check the living room clock. It's already 10 o'clock. I still need to buy groceries, so I quickly stash everything, throw on a jacket, and head out. I walk out of the supermarket, lugging 2 heavy bags, and start heading back. I've just crossed the street when someone calls my name. I turn around and see a woman who is stunningly beautiful and dressed flawlessly. I take a second look. Wait a minute, isn't this the woman from those photos last night? The second she sees me turn, she rushes over. Ethan, what happened to you? I glance down at my clothes, then at the groceries in my hands. I'm genuinely baffled. Is something wrong? What are you doing here? She's looking at me with this ridiculously emotional expression. Leave, Claire. Come back to me. I can give you a better life. It hurts me to see you struggling like this. Come back, and I promise. I'll take good care of you. If it weren't for the original Ethan's memories, I might have actually been moved by that look in her eyes. Rosie Lowe, second daughter of the Lowe group and the original Ethan's ridiculously toxic ex-girlfriend. When they were together, she soaked up all his attention while secretly mocking him for trying to latch on to her family's money. Despite her family's wealth, she never spent a single penny on him. The entire relationship, he was always the one paying for everything. She'd call when she wanted him, dismiss him when she didn't, all with this suffocating air of superiority. It wasn't until Claire approached the original Ethan that Rosie suddenly started acting like she was madly in love. She wanted him to turn Claire down. Cold. The original Ethan genuinely cared for her, willing to skip meals just to save money for her, but she was only playing him. Fortunately, the original Ethan had just enough sense not to completely fall into her trap. In fact, he almost did turn Claire down, but by pure chance he caught a glimpse of Claire's real personality, and that's what finally made him give Rosie up. That whole experience is exactly why the original Ethan became convinced that money was the only thing in this world you could trust. It's what turned him into the spendthrift everyone knew. It's fair to say this woman is at least half responsible for the mess he became. And now, she's coming after me. Definitely not out of love. I don't know her exact plan, but I know it's not good. Claire used to be someone Rosie could only look up to from afar. Now that Claire has fallen, if I'm easily lured away, it'd be just another public humiliation for Claire. And she's probably planning something even worse. So, I shake my head. I'm not going anywhere with you. Go back where you came from. Why not? Claire is a nobody now. She'll only drag you down. What could you possibly get from her? Marriage means sharing the good times. And the hard ones. I'm her husband. Of course, I'm staying by her side. Whatever happens to her, I'm not walking away. This is just a temporary setback. Even if she were seriously ill, even if she couldn't care for herself, I would still be there. Look, this has nothing to do with being broke. As long as she doesn't want a divorce, I'm not leaving, especially not now. You don't get it, do you? If I remember right, you two barely even exist in the same room. She just sends you cash. There's nothing real between you, so why suffer? Rosie's staring at me like I've completely lost it. Who says she wasn't good to me? When she had money, I got a fat allowance every single month. Sure, she was busy, but I never had to worry about a thing. Yeah, maybe that cash was nothing to her, but money doesn't just appear out of thin air. Giving me that was a choice, a kindness. She didn't have to, and since she did, I'm grateful. And now that everything's hit the fan, even if we divorced, she'd let me keep this apartment and give me half of what's left. She's done right by me. You call that nothing? If that isn't good, then I don't know what is. We were never some epic romance. The fact she's this decent says everything. You say she's not good enough? So what? You're better? Come on. Of course I am. If you came back, I'd treat you like a king. I cut her off. Hard. Back in college, I had nothing. And you? You looked down on me the entire time. You thought I was just some leech trying to get at your family's money. We dated for 2 years, and you never spent a single dime on me. The gifts you gave me? They were freebies you got when you bought stuff for yourself. Meanwhile, I worked my ass off at part-time jobs just so I could take you out, and then you dumped me. You call that good? What are you talking about? What do you take me for? Did Claire feed you some lies to make me look bad? A shadow crosses my face. You really think you're that important? Someone like Claire wouldn't waste her breath talking about you. To her, you don't even exist. You're the one watching her every move, desperate to matter. You know what they say, you only see in the world what you are inside. Now leave. Before I say something much, much worse, fury flashes in her eyes at the dismissal. She steps closer, her face twisting into a wounded, gentle mask. Ethan, Claire has gotten inside your head. How can you think that? I genuinely care about you. Claire's only keeping you around because she's broke and desperate. Don't be an idiot. Stop. Don't come any closer. Bottom line is this. A man doesn't ditch his wife the second she hits rock bottom. I'm not leaving her. Get that through your head. If I ever leave, it's when she tells me she doesn't need me anymore. Rosie opens her mouth to argue, but is suddenly cut off by a round of applause. That's right, son. Spoken like a real man. A man with principles. If more men were like you, there'd be a lot less trouble in the world. Your wife is a lucky woman, and that's when I notice. Standing nearby is an entire squad of grandmas and grandpas, clearly just finished with their morning exercises. They've formed a circle, and the man in front gives Rosie a long, disapproving look, shaking his head. Young lady, this man is happily married, and you're over here trying to break them up? That's just shameful. How would you like it if some woman was always chasing after your husband? Don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. Exactly. You want him to abandon his wife in her time of need and run off with you? Can you guarantee you'll never fall on hard times? What then? And just like that, the floodgates opened. Every single one of them starts lecturing Rosie, giving her absolutely no room to breathe. In minutes, she's been tried and convicted by the court of public opinion, a total homewrecker. I quietly back away, hiding in the crowd, trying not to laugh out loud. She really needed to hear that. You're all doing a fantastic job, seriously. Anyway, I gotta get home to cook, so I'll be heading off. Maybe we'll see each other again sometime. Don't you worry. You go on, son. We'll handle this. Not too far away, Claire and Sophie have been watching the entire drama unfold from inside their car. For a long moment, neither of them says a word. Only after Rosie has apologized profusely and been dismissed by the jury of elders does Sophie finally speak, her voice full of disbelief. Claire, that was Ethan, wasn't it? He's like a completely different person. It was him. He's actually a good guy. I mean, we only ever saw him as a freeloader, but now that you're bankrupt, he's refusing to leave your side. He'd rather face the struggle with you than just walk away. And it's not even about love, it's about his principles. Like those people said, the man has solid values. At this point, even Claire had to admit her entire perception of me was completely wrong. After hanging out with Sophie, Claire heads straight home. She opens the door and finds me on the living room rug, fingers flying across my laptop keyboard as the rich smell of stew fills the entire apartment. So, she's back. I glance up. Claire drops some fruit on the coffee table, then drifts over, curious. It clicks. She realizes I'm actually writing a story. Look, I've probably forgotten half my major by now, but the important stuff? Still rattling around in my head. And I've binged enough web fiction to know the game inside and out. So I figured, why not give it a shot? You cool with this? I ask, my fingers never leaving the keyboard. For her, this probably just fits the image she has of me. After all, it's not like she's expecting me to bring home the bacon. As long as you're happy. Yeah, a rich girl like her probably has zero interest in online stories. She might not even know what they are. So I switch gears. The ribs need another hour maybe. Go do your thing. Claire just nods, heads off to wash up, and vanishes into her room. An hour later, I'm knocking on her door. Lunch is served. And on the table, 2 bowls of rice and a whole spread of food. We're talking color, aroma, the works. I even added garnish. Yeah, I put some real effort in. First time making sweet and sour ribs, so no promises on how they came out. Give it a try. If it's garbage, I can whip up a smashed cucumber salad real quick. Ever since my parents died back in college, I've been on my own. They taught me not to demand a life of luxury, but also never to settle for less. I kept my place spotless, on a tight schedule. I cooked for myself constantly, living a super structured life. My skills? They're solid. What I said before, that was just me being modest. I'm not some master chef, but everyday home cooking? I got this. Back in the day, whenever my friends came over, I was the one in the kitchen. And let me tell you, the compliments never stopped. Claire picks up a rib, takes a bite, and nods. It's delicious. Good. Then eat more. The last few days have been hell for her. You haven't been eating or sleeping right, just running yourself into the ground. I slide a cup of lemon tea I made earlier toward her. Lemon tea with a little honey. Good for vitamin C. Drink up. Don't mind the sourness. Claire just watches me, this intense look in her eyes, like she can't shake the feeling she's looking at a total stranger. Because this guy doesn't match any of the intel she gathered, or the guy she's been married to for 2 years. Then again, it's not like she ever really paid attention to him before, so she can't be 100% sure her info was ever complete. She pushes her questions down and just says, "Thank you. You worked hard." "Not at all. I'm home all day, totally useless. You're the one out there fighting all the battles." I give her a small smile. Eat. To think, Claire used to live in a world the rest of us could only dream of. Back when old Master White was alive, nobody, and I mean nobody, would have dared to mess with the White family. And Claire? She was the star of the show. An entire generation of kids grew up hearing their parents say, "Why can't you be more like Claire?" But now, the old master is gone, and the vultures in her own family are just circling, waiting to pick the bones clean. They're literally taking bets on when she'll finally crash and burn. Not a single one of them is offering to help. In fact, some of them would love to give her a little push, a chance to stomp on the very person they used to idolize. Man, that must feel good. Honestly, before I transmigrated here, back when I was just reading this as a story, I never understood it. Why did Claire always refuse help from her best friends? If she just accepted it, she never would have ended up in this mess. But from where I'm standing now, I can't exactly ask her. She was raised as a high society princess. She has her pride. I don't know what she thought of the meal, but me, I ate like a king, and I'm guessing she didn't hate it either. I mean, she had 2 bowls of rice. Leave the dishes, I'll get them after my nap. I dump everything in the sink, wash some fruit, and set it on the table. Then it's back to the floor, and back to typing. Rewriting a story I already know by heart? The words just flow. Plus, my typing speed is legit. In just one morning, I banged out a 2,000-word outline. At this pace, I can hit 20,000 words by tomorrow and submit it. Claire and I are in a seriously tight spot. We need cash. Badly. I don't know a damn thing about business. All I can do is earn what I can, how I can, and try to take some of the pressure off her. Claire disappears back into her room. Once that door closes, I have no clue what's going on in there. Around 1:30, I force myself to shut the laptop and crash for a nap. The apartment goes silent. Inside her room, Claire hesitates, then types out a reply to someone named Sophie. Forget it. Let's just see how he does first. You can call off the search for now. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. Let's wait and see. Less than an hour later, my alarm shrieks. I drag myself out of bed, my brain still in sleep mode, and zombie walk to the bathroom, only to find the door shut. Still half dead, I grab the handle, yank it open, and step inside, looking straight into a pair of startled eyes. Whoops, sorry, still dreaming. Thought I was alone. The words just tumble out before I bolt back to my room, face on fire, and slam the door. I am an absolute idiot. That was so mortifying. It takes a solid few minutes of cringing before I can even think about opening that door again. Just my luck, Claire is coming out of the bathroom, and we lock eyes. Again. There's like 15 feet between us, but she speaks first. It's fine, don't look so horrified. This place is tiny. We're gonna keep bumping into each other. You'll get used to it. Right, yeah, get used to it. So, not going out today? Everything I needed to do is done. Staying in this afternoon, Claire says. Then she seems to remember something. I've been out a lot the past few days. Is there anything you need help with? And I feel this little flicker of annoyance. Hey, is something wrong? Just because I didn't grow up rich doesn't mean I can't handle basic survival. We're living together now, so if you need anything, just tell me. I'm not just here to make money, you know? Okay. Got it. I look at her, all serious and sincere, and for a second, I actually find her kinda cute. Whether she's on top of the world or at rock bottom, you can't deny the girl is ridiculously good-looking. As the story's official most beautiful character, even her blank stare is basically a supermodel pose. Honestly, I'm impressed with myself for not turning into a complete idiot around her. After that, Claire gives me this one long, weirdly intense look before heading to her room. And then it hits me. I jump up and run to her door. What do you want for dinner? Anything's fine. I'm not picky. Huh. Turns out the wealthy heiress is easier to feed than I thought. I head back to the coffee table and get back to writing. I finish a chapter and then remember the online listings. I quickly pull up the site. And whoa, 12 watches and 2 outfits, already sold. I don't know jack about luxury pricing, so I just looked everything up and listed it at 80% of the market value. A lot of it was brand new, still in the box, but I was worried Claire might need the cash fast, so I didn't push the price. I honestly expected crickets, but apparently, people are biting. And they're biting fast. Okay, time to jot down all these shipping addresses. After saving the file, I go grab the watches and clothes. It's a pretty big haul, so I schedule a courier to come pick it all up. Half an hour later, everything's packed and the courier's here. The noise must have tipped off Claire. She opens her door and steps out. What are you doing? She asks, eyeing the mountain of stuff. Way too many clothes and watches, and I'm not going anywhere. They're just taking up space. So I figured I'd sell some. These are the ones that sold today. Better to get them to the buyers quick. She frowns. That's not necessary. We're not that desperate. You don't need to sell my things. Honestly, it's mostly because the clutter bugs me. Besides, these aren't even the latest models. I'm never gonna wear them, so might as well sell them and save up for something new I actually like. There. A perfect excuse that lets the fallen rich girl keep her pride. I'm a genius, right? I thought I was being super considerate, but something I said must have really hit a nerve. She reaches out, her hand trembling just a little as she grabs mine for a second. Then she lets go. She doesn't stop me. She just says, "All right, we'll get new ones later." New ones? Is she kidding me? A single watch costs tens of thousands. That's like half a year of living expenses for me. Buy a few of those and I'm totally broke. I'm screaming on the inside, but on the outside, I'm all smiles. A rich girl like her has her pride to protect. I just grin. "I'll be waiting for you to buy them for me." My smile, so familiar yet so different lately, seems to catch her completely off guard for a moment. She glances at the boxes on the floor, then bends down and starts helping me load them into the courier's bag herself. Only after the courier's gone does Claire ask, "How much are you planning to sell?" Well, there were over 100 watches and 80 outfits. About 70 of the watches are still new, selling all of those. For the rest, I'll keep 10% and sell the other 40 or so. As for the clothes, I'll keep about 30 outfits and sell the rest. I half expect her to protest, but she just nods without a word. She grabs an apple from the table, sits down, and starts peeling it. I can't figure her out at all. I don't know if this is killing her pride, but hey, survival is more important than feelings. And even if she hates it, what else can we do? I looked it up this morning. In the world of this story, real estate prices have only climbed about halfway to their peak. We're gonna need cash. Claire's comeback? No idea if she'll pull it off. But whatever happens, one thing is crystal clear. I need to buy us a house. First, once her luxury crap sells, I'll have the down payment easy. I'll hand Claire the leftover cash, and I'll chip away at the mortgage myself. That way, even if her career is toast, we'll still have a roof over our heads. My mind's racing with all these plans. Even as I'm just staring at a blank laptop screen, totally zoned out. And then a peeled apple appears right in front of me. The sweet, fresh scent hits me first. The peel is perfect, not a single break. I swallow hard, my brain still buffering. It's Claire, holding it out. For me. She nudges it a little closer. "You've put up with a lot. I am genuinely thrown for a loop." In the original story, Claire was a total ice queen. She had zero time for guys. And yet, here she is, peeling an apple for ME and doing it like a work of art. This is wild. I grab the apple. It's nothing. It was all bought with your money in the first place. You never complained about my spending back then. For that, I'm grateful. And then, Claire actually laughs. She usually has this perfectly composed, unreadable expression. Not cold exactly, but definitely a keep your distance kind of vibe. But now she's laughing, and my brain short circuits. How can one person be this beautiful? "Don't worry," she says. "I'll buy you plenty of new watches when the time comes." I nod on instinct, feeling my face get hot. So weird. "I know you'll make a comeback. Take your time," I add. "I'll be waiting for those watches. Seriously, you've got this." Claire gets up, that little smile still on her lips, and walks back to her room. The second I can't see her, a flash of amusement crosses her eyes. That afternoon I enter the zone. 10,000 words. Just like that. Dinner is simple, quiet, and then we're back to our own worlds. I stay up till midnight and crush another 10,000, hitting 20K total. Next morning, Claire heads out after breakfast, and I get to work on submitting the manuscript. I check the resale site score. 8 more watches and another outfit, gone. I can practically hear the ka-ching as the money hits my account, and damn, it feels good. I've just finished prepping the manuscript and hit send, when there's a knock on the door. Who is it? I get up to check. A man's voice calls out, "It's me, Marcus James." Marcus James? The name means nothing to me. I walk to the door, drawing a complete blank. I open it, and there's some guy with a smug, pretty boy face. The moment he sees me, his eyes do this slow, calculating scan, from my head to my toes. It's incredibly creepy. "Not going to invite me in," Marcus says, already trying to push his way inside. I still have no idea who this guy is, so I block his path. "Who are you here to see?" "If you're Ethan, then I'm here for you." He weasels his way past me anyway. "Claire's not home right now, is she?" "Welp, he's already in. Guess it'd be rude to throw him out now." So, I just shut the door and pour the guy some tea. "She's not here. Left early this morning." "So, what do you want with me?" "Oh, I want something," he sneers. "Let's be real. You're not ugly, but you're a nobody with no skills. Claire marrying you was pathetic. I know her grandpa only let it happen to repay some old family debt, but in all these years, you've done nothing for her. All you've ever done is blow her money and have a good time. Don't you feel any shame?" I cut him off. "And who, exactly, are you to Claire?" "Claire and I are childhood friends," he boasts. "We've always been close. If it weren't for you, we'd probably be married by now." "Funny," I say. "I've never heard her mention you. Not once." "Of course not. Why would Claire ever talk about me to you?" And he has a point there. The original Ethan? Yeah, she wouldn't have said a word to that guy. They weren't close at all, and she's not one to stir up drama. I nod. Okay, so what do you actually want? Claire needs help, he says, and you're just a dead weight dragging her down. My father has agreed. If Claire and I get married, he'll help her rebuild everything, so you need to divorce her. If Claire wants a divorce, she can ask me herself. Why is she sending you to do her dirty work? I say calmly. I'm not going to cling to her. Unless. This is just your own little fantasy. Because Claire would never do something this classless herself. Of course she can't say it. She has too much pride. That's why you have to be the one to step up. You spent her money for years, and now that she's in trouble, you're useless. So do the one decent thing you can do and stop holding her back. You bring it up, she gracefully accepts, and everyone saves face. Simple. I stare at him. Is this what Claire wants? It's what I times want. Don't you get it? Claire would never ask for help like this. We have to take the initiative times her. You divorce her, I marry her, and then she can finally accept my father's help without losing her pride. Let me make this simple for you. If Claire herself asked for this, I'd sign the papers without a second thought. But she's not asking. You are. So, I gotta ask. Before Claire and I got married, were you two a thing? Did she love you? Marcus just freezes, mid-sip. That's not relevant. She's not good at showing her feelings, and she doesn't like you. I can help her. All you do is hold her back. I am 100 times better for her than you are. Oh, you're wrong. I might not know her like you do, but I'm damn sure she would never take a handout from your father, especially if the price is marrying you. You actually think convincing your dad to bail her out is some kind of favor? But you never stop to think what it would actually cost her. If she rebuilds her company on your family's money, what kind of reputation does that leave her with? She'll be branded for life. The girl who got ahead by striking a marriage deal. Look, I don't know Claire that well, honestly, but I'm pretty sure the character in this story, even as the so-called villain, would never ever accept a deal like that. In fact, if she wasn't so damn stubborn, she never would have gone through half the crap that knocked her down. Someone with that much pride? You think she'd use her marriage as a bargaining chip for a comeback? Not a chance. At least not right now. And honestly, I don't have a problem divorcing Claire, just not because you're trying to bully me into it. I spell it out for him. Whatever Claire decides is her business, and whatever she chooses, I will absolutely respect it. Marcus looks like I just stomped on his soul. He absolutely erupts. You just want to cling to her. That's what this is. How can you be so selfish? Claire has done more than enough for you. She finally has a chance to rebuild, and you're just standing in the way. You're disgusting. Okay, I've been more than polite up to this point. You show up here unannounced, spewing all this? Anyone watching would think you're the one trying to wreck a marriage. When did our marriage become your business? Even if your intentions are good, you have no right to come to me with this. You want to help her? Go talk to her. I can't make her decisions, and trust me, I'm not fighting a divorce tooth and nail. Any rational person can see it. If she really cared for you, why weren't you two together before her grandpa showed up at my door? If the feelings weren't there, why were you never even a couple in the first place? You keep talking about how she's too honorable for a shady deal, but what you're doing right now is dishonorable on her behalf, and you haven't thought through a single consequence for her. What right do you have to say any of this? You're nothing but a kept man, a pretty boy who only knows how to spend money. What gives me the right? Oh, this is going to be good. The fact that I'm still her husband. That's what gives me the right. And as long as that's true, I have every right to shut down anyone trying to interfere in our marriage. Yeah, I spent her money, never helped her. But she agreed to it. She didn't mind. So what exactly are you so worked up about? You want to marry her? Go tell her that. If she says yes, I will sign the divorce papers without a single word. But coming to me? Not happening. You have no shame. Marcus slams his cup on the table. I'm past being angry. I just calmly turn my own cup in my hands. You're the one trying to break up a marriage and you don't feel any shame about it. So where do you get off calling me shameless? If that's what you think, then I guess we're done here. Bottom line, you just refuse to divorce her. Think of it that way if you want. He finally got his answer, and he knows he's not getting what he came for. Marcus shoots to his feet and storms out, but not before turning back for one last threat. Just wait. Claire will drop you sooner or later. The door slams shut. I let out a long, quiet sigh. It makes sense for the female lead to be popular, but did the villainess have to be this in demand too? If it wasn't for my conscience, I'd honestly be tempted to just get the divorce, but it's just a passing thought. I can't just possess someone's body and ignore their debts, even though I wasn't the one who spent all that cash. It's technically on my tab now, right? I push it all out of my head, open my browser, and start jotting down addresses and details. Then I head to my room to grab the watches I've sold. Everything gets sorted, and I call the courier. Today's sales need to ship out, like, now. I run the numbers. Everything I've sold so far totals over 2 million yuan. Once the buyers confirm they got the goods, a very nice chunk of change is hitting my account. A few more sales, and I can buy a small apartment, make a down payment, and officially join the homeowners club. Just the idea of it fills me with energy. Suddenly, I don't feel like writing at all. Instead, I open a new tab and start looking at property listings in this city. This is my first home. I'm going to choose carefully. I'm deep into my search when I realize it's almost noon. I don't even have time to close the browser. I bolt to the kitchen to start cooking. Claire mentioned this morning she'd be home for lunch. My bad. I was so caught up picturing the future I totally zoned out. I'm making wontons for lunch. The filling's been ready since this morning, and I snagged the wrappers yesterday. My hands just know what to do, falling into a natural rhythm, a few seconds per wonton, and before I know it, I've got over 20 of them lined up. I'm still in the zone when Claire gets home. I don't even bother looking up. You're back. Yeah. What are you up to? Claire's standing in the doorway close enough to see my hands moving like a blur, but not what I'm actually making. So she just guesses. Wrapping wontons? Yep, that's lunch. I'll throw together some flatbread too, so we'll definitely be full. I say it all casually, like this is the most normal thing in the world. But think about it. Making wontons and flatbread from scratch? That's not your average Tuesday lunch. That little alarm in Claire's head starts ringing again, but then she just looks at me, sitting there, my hands moving with this quiet, easy confidence, and somehow all her questions just melt away. You know, I haven't had these in forever. The words just kind of slip out. Realizing that sounds a little weird, she immediately clams up and heads to the bathroom to wash her hands, like she's trying to hide something. I, of course, don't notice a single strange thing about her behavior. I mean, I love wontons, and Claire's been swamped with work lately. It's no surprise she hasn't had time to think about food. Besides, wontons are street food. So yeah, it totally makes sense she hasn't had them in ages. Want a bigger bowl? I can always make more. Whatever's left, I'll just wrap and freeze. Perfect for days when we're feeling lazy. Okay, make a little more. That's all she says when she comes out of the bathroom. She really hasn't eaten street food in a long, long time. We're talking 3, maybe 4 years. If I hadn't mentioned it, she probably wouldn't have even realized how long it's been since she last just relaxed. All right, plenty it is, I say, my hands never missing a beat. For me, life's full of hope and little moments of joy. You make your own happiness. Just getting a second chance is a gift, you know? Every little thing is worth treasuring. Being able to just sit here, wrapping and eating wontons, that right there is happiness. Almost an hour later, 2 big, steaming bowls of wontons hit the table. I call Claire over, already digging in, and nod at her chair with a huge grin. Try 'em. I think they came out pretty good. Wasn't sure how much you'd eat, and wontons alone aren't always filling, so I made some flatbread wraps too. Do you even eat those? Hearing that, a small smile plays on her lips, but she hides it. Of course I do. I'm a normal person. She sits down, tries one, thinks for a second, then nods. These are good. See? Told you so. I'm a huge wonton fan, so I always give it my all. Eat up, there's plenty. We eat at completely different speeds. Claire eats about half as much as I do, but somehow, we finish at the exact same time. This time, as I get up to do the dishes, she blurts out of nowhere, I'll buy a dishwasher. It's just a few bowls. Takes 2 seconds. No need to waste money on that. It's not that expensive. Don't worry about it, Claire says, super casual. My face immediately twists into a complicated expression. What's wrong? Oh man, she still hasn't adjusted. She hasn't fully grasped that we're not living that high-class life anymore. I'm about to say something to bring her back to reality. But then I see the tiny frown on her forehead, and the lecture just dies in my throat. All right, fine, I'll go pick one out myself. Don't you worry about it. I'm really picky, so it might take me a while to find the perfect one. The second the words are out, I sigh internally. Damn. Her good looks always make me go soft. I couldn't even bring myself to say something that might hurt her feelings. But hey, I already said I'm picky. So if I take forever to find one and come back empty-handed, totally believable, right? Claire watches my face contort and click. She instantly understands exactly what I'm thinking, and a very strange feeling washes over her. For the first half of her life, even though her grandpa made her go through some tough trials, she never really had to worry about money after she turned 15. And right now, she's not actually broke. It's her husband who thinks she is. And even with that belief, he's trying so hard not to make her feel bad about it. It's a new feeling. She can't quite put a name to it. I have some things to do. I'll be in my room. Claire just turns and leaves me alone with the dishes. I start humming while I scrub. Life is pretty good. We have a roof over our heads and food on the table. My watches and clothes are selling like crazy. Pretty soon I'll have enough for my own place. It can only go up from here. And Claire, she's got what it takes. Her comeback is inevitable. And when it happens, hey, maybe she'll even share a little of that cash with me. But even if she doesn't bounce back, I can support us both. For now, having a friend around means I don't have to face any unexpected problems alone. This hustle won't last forever. One day, we'll have a normal, quiet life. If she wants out, fine. I'll find the right person for me eventually. As long as we both come out of this okay, that's all that matters. After the dishes, I write for a bit, then get ready for a nap. Right then, Claire's door swings open. Did Marcus cause any problems? Not exactly problems. More like he wanted me to bring up the divorce. I shot him down. I told him there's nothing going on between us. But if you have feelings for him, we can end this whenever you want. He also said his father would help rebuild our company, on the condition that you marry him. There's nothing between us, and I'm not divorcing you because of him. You handled it well, she says. The rest, we'll deal with that later. I don't need anyone's help right now, and this isn't something his dad can just fix. Understood. Yeah, that sounds about right. I get up, ready to crash in my room. But then Claire's voice stops me, her eyes drilling into me. Since when do you take afternoon naps? I freeze. My brain scrambles for a believable excuse. I just realized my old routine was terrible for my health. So I'm trying to fix it. Honestly, you should try it too. A midday nap gives you a serious energy boost for the afternoon. Makes you way more efficient. Get some rest. And with that, Claire's gone, back in her room. I just stand there, a knot tightening in my stomach. That wasn't suspicious, right? After going bankrupt, anyone would change their habits. Yeah, totally believable. Inside her room, Claire slumps at her desk, her face a total blank as she gets lost in thought. But she looks like she's holding something back. Instead, she just grabs her phone and makes a call. Have a dishwasher delivered here in the next few days. There are still things I need to observe. For now, let's just keep things as they are. She hangs up, setting the phone down. Her gaze drifts to the bed, my words echoing in her mind. Is an afternoon nap really that great? Before she even knows what's happening, she's lying down and a wave of relaxation washes over her. Okay, this actually feels nice. She's been running herself ragged for years. It's been so long since she's had a moment of real, peaceful sleep. 2:30 in the afternoon rolls around before she knows it. I walk out of my room, giving a huge, satisfying stretch. I splash some water on my face and step out of the bathroom just as Claire emerges from her room. Her eyes are still hazy, sleepy, and, oh my God, is that what she looks like right after waking up? She's way too beautiful, and this woman is supposed to be the villain? The author poured so much effort into her just to give her such a tragic end. What a total waste. I'm so lost in thought I don't even realize my expression has shifted, a flicker of pity showing in my eyes. Claire sees it, and for a second, she flinches, like she's been burned. I snap my gaze away instantly. You need the bathroom? No, I'm done. It's all yours. I step aside, letting her pass. I just shrug and get back to my laptop, ready to write. The second I open it, I see it. A friend request. The note says it's from an editor at a literary site. Hearing the noise, Claire comes out, still drying her hands. What is it? My story passed the first round of reviews. If it gets through the next two, it'll actually start making money. Really? Congratulations. That's good news for both of us. The second the words are out, I'm already ignoring her, diving back into the story. Seeing me zoned in on the computer, Claire just quietly heads back to her room. Later that afternoon, I'm getting more packages ready for a courier. This time, a young woman shows up. Mr. Ethan, did you open an online shop? These watches all look amazing. Any chance you could sell me one at a discount? I'd love to get one for my boyfriend. I jump back, waving my hands. Sorry, no, it's not my shop. I'm just shipping these for a friend, and these things aren't cheap. They're all over 10,000 yuan. It's not my call. If you really want one, I can ask for you. Over 10,000? Oh wow, these must be luxury items. I honestly don't know much about this stuff. Maybe. All I know is they're not cheap. As I'm talking, the elevator dings open, and Claire steps out. She heard everything. What's going on? Oh, nothing. This courier was just asking about buying one of the watches. Since they aren't mine, I thought I'd ask about a discount. No. If they're luxury goods, forget it. I'm just a normal person. I could never pull off wearing something that expensive. Anyway, the courier gets back to business. Is this everything? If so, I'll get it all scanned and be on my way. Yes, that's everything. Thank you. The courier grabs the boxes, steps into the elevator, and is gone. I realize I've been blocking the door and quickly move. You're back early. Not much to do today. Claire walks inside. Why did you tell her the watches belong to someone else? Claiming that stuff for myself? Bad idea. We have no clue what security is like around here. If word gets out we're sitting on valuables, we're painting a target on our backs. Besides, that courier has been here a few times. We've got a decent working relationship. I'll need to use her services again. If I said the jewelry was mine but couldn't give her a discount, she might hold a grudge and start losing my packages. Sure, I could complain, but that's a whole ordeal I'd rather skip. Bottom line, you never really know a person, and we're not close enough for me to take that gamble. That was smart of you to realize. By the way, there's a reception in a few days. We're going together, so start getting ready. A reception? I've barely been to any of those. Am I going to cause a problem for you? It's fine. At this point, there's nobody left who can really give me trouble. And even if something happens, I don't mind a little friction. Claire just calmly picks up a glass and pours some water, but the way she says it sends a chill right down my spine. All right, I'll get ready. For the next 2 days, Claire sticks to her usual routine. Out early, home late, but she's always there for breakfast and dinner. So I get into the habit of having 2 meals ready for us every single day. I spend my days writing, handling sales, and Googling everything I can about high society parties. One evening, Claire comes home and I'm not in my usual spot on the rug. The second I hear the door open, I look up at her with this intense, slightly unhinged expression. She glances at the mountain of clothes surrounding me. What's all this? Did you buy out a store? Please. I need your help. I haven't been to one of these things in forever, and I have absolutely no idea what people even wear anymore. These are the ones I picked out. The best of the bunch. Just look and tell me which one works. Didn't you always make a big deal about picking your own clothes? Yeah, well, back then, everything had just gone sideways. I was a little on edge. Insisting on choosing my outfits was just my way of hanging on to the last shred of my dignity. But I've thought it over. A person is who they are. There's no point in being touchy about it, especially if it just makes me look worse. It's better to just be honest when you're completely out of your depth. Sounds like you've finally figured things out. So, please. Which one? I seriously can't decide. Claire scans the options and points to the most classic choice, a black suit. This one. Clean. Simple. It'll do. Perfect. That's the one. I immediately start folding everything else up. The night of the reception, Claire drives us herself. I make a point of getting into the back seat. Claire just glances at me in the rearview mirror. You're not dressed very warmly. Are you cold? I'm fine. I've got long sleeves on. It's not that cold yet. You know, I've been getting the feeling you act a little strange around me. Not at all. We've got no issues and you've been nothing but good to me. I'm just grateful. It's just, we barely spoke before, and now suddenly we're running into each other constantly. I'm still just adjusting to it all. It'll get easier. Through the rearview mirror, Claire watches my practice smile fade, leaving behind a look of someone who's genuinely lost. And just like that, she loses any desire to keep talking. We ride the rest of the way in complete silence. Before long, we arrive at the biggest hotel in the city. We've barely made it to the entrance when someone steps right into our path, trying to make it look like an accident. The guy blocking us is a bit overweight, his hair gleaming with product, and a gaudily dressed woman clinging to his arm. His face is a mask of pure, undisguised malice. That piece of land in the East District. I hear a major developer has been eyeing it. Shouldn't you be keeping an eye on that, Mr. Wilson? Mr. Wilson freezes, his face twisting into an ugly scowl. He forces a smile. Lady Claire, you look as impressive as ever. It's been too long. What a pleasure to see you. Claire doesn't even give him the time of day. She walks right past him, and I follow, staying close behind her. As we step into the hall, I recognize a few faces from the original Ethan's memories. Kept husbands and overlooked sons of wealthy heiresses. The B-listers, basically. A few of them spot me, drinks in hand, and look like they're about to wander over. Then they see Claire beside me, and quietly retreat. Some of them throw me these pitying looks. Aren't you going to go say hello? Why would I? That's just asking for trouble. I was never actually friends with any of them, just acquaintances. Things are different now. Better not to pretend they aren't. We've barely taken a few more steps when 2 young men approach us, both with women on their arms. The one who gets to us first is a bit older, maybe 30, with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes at all. Well, if it isn't Lady Claire, it's been ages, and this must be. Forgive my memory, I'm getting old. You're Lady Claire's husband, aren't you? How rare to see you both out together. What's the matter, life treating you poorly? Running a little low on cash? I heard the 2 of you weren't exactly on speaking terms. Looks like the rumors were wrong about that. Mr. Fang, it's been a while. I was starting to think you'd taken ill and were stuck in bed. You know, I was mistaken. Smart people fall into a trap once. Then they learn to walk around it. Then there are fools who keep falling in until it's their grave. So tell me, Mr. Fang, which one are you? Of course, some traps aren't traps anymore. They're just treasure, lying on the ground, waiting for someone to grab it. And when people see treasure, they can't help but reach for it. I'm sure you get what I mean, Lady Claire. By the way, I heard business hasn't been so great for you lately. We've known each other a while, so here's some friendly advice. True wealth isn't always about money. Sometimes, it's about people. My fist clenches on instinct, and I move, putting myself right between him and Claire. Suddenly, a woman's voice cuts through the tension. Claire, what are you doing over here? The second they hear that voice, both guys flinch, taking a synchronized step back. She just stopped by. What do you two think you're doing? Since when is my sister someone you can just approach and harass? Have the fangs and the H's really sunk this low? What are you waiting for? An invitation? Get lost. Don't confuse me with my sister. I'm not nearly as patient. Both of them nod like idiots and just disappear. Their little buddies try to sneak a peek at Vera, but get shut down hard. Claire, seriously, if you were coming, that's fine. But why did you bring times him asterisk? And if you had to, couldn't you at least give me a warning? Those two clowns actually tried to act tough in front of you. You're way too nice to them. It's nothing. They're just idiots. But what about you? You never come to these things. What are you even doing here? I was worried you'd show up and run into some trash. So I had my manager cancel a gig just to be here. And look, good thing I did. Or who knows what kind of garbage those two would have spouted. Vera's eyes shift to me, sizing me up. My sister's broke. The money well has run dry, so you can drop the act. If you're planning on leaving, just go. I just force a smile and say nothing. Don't be ridiculous. We're still married. Claire cuts in. Come on, let's find a place to sit. Fine, I'll tag along. With Vera sitting with us, nobody dares to come close. Anyone who's anyone knows Vera is not someone you mess with. I steel myself for a night of awkward tension, but we've barely sat down before Claire is ready to leave. Vera tries to get her to stay for some event, but Claire just isn't having it. We head out together. In the car, I watch Claire drive, and after a solid 3 minutes of choking on my words, I finally spit it out. So, did you get what you needed tonight? She nods. More or less. I've been selling off the watches and clothes. We've saved up a pretty decent amount. Now that the debts are all cleared, I was thinking, why don't we buy a small apartment? We can make the down payment now, and I'll cover the rest with my writing money. For the rest, we'll keep 6 months of living expenses on hand, and you can use whatever's left for your business. Claire blinks, glancing at me in the rearview mirror. Then she says, there's no rush. But there is a rush. The market is changing every single day. The longer we wait, the more we stand to lose. And renting is no long-term plan. If it makes you feel better, we can put the deed in your name. Either way, owning a place means we'll always have a safety net. All right, I'll think about it. Back home that night, I head to my room to write. That's when Claire gets a call. Claire, I found the information you wanted. I've sent the encrypted file to your email. I haven't shown it to anyone else. Check it out. Claire's laptop is open, displaying the email. She lets out a slow breath, her finger tracing down the page in a steady rhythm, her brow slightly furrowed. After a long moment, she picks up her phone and makes a call. Hello, Master Chen. I have a question for you. Is it possible for someone, without any kind of mental disorder, to become a completely different person? I mean, their habits, values, their entire personality, all changed, seemingly overnight. A few minutes later, she hangs up the phone. She leans back in her chair, and the straight line of her lips slowly, very slowly, curls into a smile. Soul transmigration? Is that it? The next morning, I'm just chilling, eating a scallion roll, when Claire suddenly looks up, like a thought just struck her. What kind of stories do you write? My hand freezes mid-air. What do I write? A little bit of everything, really. I don't like being stuck in one genre. But if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be transmigration stories. The crazier the idea, the more I love it. Do you believe transmigration is real? I kinda do. I mean, nobody truly knows what this reality is. We feel like we're living in a solid, real world, but it could just be a story someone else wrote. Who's to say what's actually real? Model. How can anyone say transmigration is fake when we can't even prove our own world is real? I mean, what if this is all just a story somebody wrote? And if that's true, in their story, we're probably just random background characters with no names. So, let's say you did get isekai'd. What was your past life like? Mine? Pretty damn good, all things considered. I had parents who were actually in love. I was an only child, and basically got to do whatever I wanted. Sure, they died suddenly, but I studied what I loved, never starved, and was never broke. All in all, life was solid. And how did I get here? Stab saving someone, of course. A super unlucky way to go. Seriously, talk about bad luck. It's a good reminder to look before you leap. Even with the best intentions, you gotta know your own limits. For real. That's a life lesson right there. We drop the subject after that. Claire heads out after breakfast, and I just stay home to write. Claire's not back for lunch, so I happily order some takeout for myself. After I eat, I clean up a bit and take out the trash. In the afternoon, I ship out the latest orders from my online store, same as always, then head out for groceries. And while I'm walking through the supermarket, it hits me. My life right now, it's not that different from my old one. I'm still chewing on that thought when a lady nearby speaks up. Hey, aren't you that young man from the other day? The one that horrible woman was harassing? Oh, it's you. Just grabbing some stuff for dinner? Good for you. Not many young men know how to cook these days. Your wife is one lucky lady. Not at all, I say. She's always working so hard. So I've been trying to pull my weight at home. Honestly, I'm the lucky one. She smiles. A grateful heart leads to a good life. It's rare for someone your age to have that mindset. If your wife feels the same, you two will have a wonderful life together. I just smile and grab a nice head of cauliflower. Then I turn to the tomatoes and see Claire standing right beside me. What are you doing here? She asks. I got done with work early, so I came to grab a few things. I just happened to see you. Need a hand? I shake my head. I'm good. I've only got 4 things and none of it's heavy. Go get your own stuff. A little later, I see some perfect tomatoes and get an idea for sweet and sour ribs. After all, Claire seems to like sour things. We end up with a cart full of ingredients, a bunch of snacks, and even swing by for printer paper. Then, we head to the checkout line together. Oh, young man, hello again. And this must be your lovely wife. She's so beautiful. She is, I say. This is my wife. The lady gushes. I have never seen such a gorgeous girl. Prettier than any celebrity. No wonder you're so devoted to her. That other woman who was chasing you, she can't even compare. Not even in the same league, looks-wise. And her whole vibe was just off. I don't know where she got the nerve to even approach you. I suck in a sharp breath, my heart jumping into my throat. Claire just looks at me with this expression. I force a laugh. You're totally right. That woman was bad news. Even if I went completely insane, I'd never get involved with someone like that again. She was definitely up to no good, coming to find me like that. Luckily, I'm not the same idiot I used to be. The cashier hands back the card. Here you go, sir. I pay, say a quick goodbye to the lady, and practically drag Claire out of the supermarket. As soon as we're outside, I start explaining. Look, I'm sure you already know, but before we got married, I had a girlfriend. Her name's Rosie Lowe, back in college. I was an idiot. I didn't get how people could be, so I fell for her whole act. But after we got married, I swear, I cut off all contact with her, completely. That day, she ambushed me right as I was leaving the store. I knew right away she was looking for trouble. So when she asked me to go somewhere with her, I shot her down, right there. That lady inside was just one of the locals who saw it happen. Claire just nods. Rosie Lowe. Second daughter of the Lowe group. I've heard she's famously cheap, that's putting it mildly. She always acted so perfect and successful. And back then, Ethan, my past self thought she was this amazing upperclassman, so I always felt kinda small around her. Then I found out she was telling people she was only with me to kill time while she chased after my classmate. Ugh, just thinking about it still makes me mad. People like that are the absolute worst, Claire says. Just stay away from her. Oh, I will, trust me. Wasting a single second on someone like that is a waste of life. Back home, I put everything away and start on dinner. Suddenly, Claire is in the kitchen doorway. Need any help? I nearly jump out of my skin. I wave her away fast. No, I got this. You do enough already. Go do your work. I'll let you know when dinner's ready. Claire just nods and leaves. I tie on my apron and get to it. Once everything's on the table, I knock on her office door. Claire lets go of her mouse, closes her work on the screen, and comes out to eat. As usual, we don't really have much to say to each other. I've got zero energy to start anything, but today's different. The moment Claire sits down, she drops a bomb. Someone's coming tomorrow to install a dishwasher. My chopsticks literally freeze midair. A dishwasher? You bought one? I thought I was going to pick it out. You said you were picky about this stuff. I figured I'd save you the trouble. All you have to do is use it. I cave with a sigh. Fine. I'll try to be home tomorrow. The subject dies. We go back to eating. Then my phone rings. Of course. It's Jasper Lane. You should agree to see him. I blink, totally thrown. Why would Claire want me to meet Jasper? The voice on the phone keeps rambling. Ethan, don't let what happened turn you against the world. Not everyone wants to kick you while you're down. Even if I can't do much, I can at least listen. Give you an outlet for all this. You've been carrying this weight for so long. Are you really just going to keep it all bottled up? In the original Ethan's life, Jasper was the classic understanding older brother, and the original Ethan told him times everything asterisk, which is exactly why whenever Jasper needed a favor, the kid just went right along with it. And that's why, seeing my total indifference, Jasper just assumes I'm being moody. Fine, I sigh into the phone. Since you put it that way, I'll come. Let's see what you're really playing at. I caught Claire's signal, so I agree, even if it tastes like dirt. The voice on the other end sounds genuinely happy. Ugh. We say a few more words and then hang up. Why did you want me to meet him? Claire puts down her chopsticks. Jasper never moves without a motive. Before, when he called you, it was to get intel on my schedule, to track me. Now that you're supposedly useless to him, he's still calling. That means he's found a new angle, something about you he thinks he can exploit. If you don't go, he'll just find another way to get what he wants. And just like that, I get it. The unspoken logic is brutal. If you can't avoid the fight, you might as well control the when and where. And sure enough, she says it. Having some control is always better than having none. And knowing your enemy is right there, scheming against you, is way better than getting played like a fool without ever seeing it coming. I see. It's not that I don't understand the logic, it's just, my old life was never this complicated. I'm still not used to being this guy, let alone living in this world of snakes, but Claire, who barely ever speaks, is laying all this out. Is she? Is she actually teaching me how to survive here? I look across the table. Claire's already eating again, with that same calm, elegant grace. As composed as ever. Like the fact that people are actively plotting against her doesn't even bother her. At all. Right. Plotting against times her asterisk. Because let's be real, there's nothing about the original Ethan worth targeting. The only person here worth all this trouble is Claire. Claire's only rule for the meeting is simple. Keep it casual, avoid sensitive stuff, and report back. I nod. Got it. Jasper picked a super popular cafe downtown. I look it up real quick when he texts me the address. The cheapest thing on the menu is over 200 yuan. We're talking like 30 bucks. Who spends that kind of money? On the day of, I actually take time to look decent. I know I'll probably get made fun of no matter what I do. But at least they can't say I showed up looking like a slob. What I don't expect is for Jasper's very first words to be a direct hit. Ethan, I know you're feeling down. You've always been too proud. But things are tough for you right now. There's no need to put on a brave face for me. I won't judge you. If I didn't know any better, I'd actually think he was being sincere. The fact that he can say all that with such a convincing look of concern, that's not just talent. That's a superpower. You're too kind, Jasper. But no matter how bad things get, a man's got to take care of his looks. I'm handsome. Letting that go to waste would basically be a crime. Youth is short, you know? Gotta make every day count. Besides, not using my natural gifts? That's just disrespectful to whatever gods gave them to me. He tried to stab me first, but I'm not the type to just take it, so I twist the blade right back. There. All right. Our Ethan is always the best-looking one, he says, forcing a smile. Come on, let's sit. I know you've been having a hard time. Let's just talk it out. I might not be able to help much, but I can definitely listen. Let it all out. You'll feel better. He keeps that fake smile plastered on his face as a server leads us to a private room with the best view. I take one look around and think, yep, this is what rich looks like. Nothing like the tiny tea shops I'm used to. That courtyard alone is a masterpiece. No average designer could have pulled that off. Not in a million years. Jasper sees me staring out at the courtyard, and I can practically feel the smug satisfaction brewing in his mind. He thinks I'm missing the good old days, but his voice stays all smooth and gentle. Ethan, what do you want to drink? I snap right back to reality, my eyes lighting up as I immediately start listing off every single signature item I'd already scouted online. Whoa, Ethan? You really gonna eat all that? Oh, I know exactly what's going through his head. He's thinking, what happened to his pride? Is this guy seriously about to order like he hasn't eaten in a month? But explaining myself? Not happening. Anything I can't finish, I'll just take home. No big deal. Take it home? You'd actually get a doggy bag from a place like this? You that hard up for cash? But I flip it. Of course, wasting food is, well, wasteful. I'm not the man I used to be. I've got to make every penny count. Being frugal is a virtue, right? Always has been. What's the problem, Jasper? You got some kind of issue with that particular virtue? And just like that, Jasper is totally speechless. He's got nothing. He just blinks for a second before scrambling. No, you're right. I agree. I was way too extravagant before, buying all this luxury junk I never even used. A complete waste of money, not to mention a waste of time and energy. If I'd only put that time towards something meaningful. Just imagine. There are so many people in this world who need help. How did I never realize that before? That cash could have supported kids in underprivileged communities. Anything would have been better than buying designer crap just to let it collect dust. By the way, Jasper, a kind and stand-up guy like you must donate to those causes all the time, right? Now, this guy Jasper is an absolute master at public relations and spinning his own image. But charity? Yeah, right. He's not that generous. The guy can barely afford his own flashy lifestyle. The idea of him willingly giving money away is a total joke. But the smile he flashes me looks 100% sincere. Of course, whenever I have time, I always make it a point to help those in need. My parents raised me to share what I have and to look out for others. Jasper thinks he knows exactly where this conversation is going. He's wrong. I pivot hard. So, if you're that generous with total strangers, then surely, for an old friend like me, someone you've known for so long, now that I'm down on my luck, now that I'm one of those people who needs help, you're gonna help me out, right? What? He's completely blindsided. Of all the things he expected me to say, after me, the guy who used to care more about his reputation than anything, this wasn't even on the list. Jasper, you have no idea how miserable my life is right now. I can't buy new clothes or watches. All I do is stare at my wife's icy expression every single day. I can't even bring up money. And when I called my old contacts, ghosted. Every last one. I watch his expression shift. That's my cue. I get up, slide into the seat right beside him, grab his hand, and hold on tight. No escape. You're the only one, Jasper. The only one who still came looking for me. You're the only person I can count on. You throw around 200,000 or 300,000 like it's pocket change. Surely you're not going to be stingy with an old friend. You'll help me out, right? We're practically brothers. I squeeze his hand, my voice dead serious. He still hasn't answered, so I deliver the final blow. Come to think of it, I haven't really caught up with any of the women we know yet. And that line, it hits Jasper right where it hurts. He's anxious. Every woman he's ever been interested in has shown zero interest back. He tries to project this clean, upright image, but plenty of people know the truth. And no amount of damage control has ever managed to bury the rumors. In the end, his family came up with a plan. Just lay low and hope people forget. The real reason he even reached out to me was to get something done, specifically to show off his own value in front of some girl he's chasing. Ethan, what are you talking about? Look at us. What kind of relationship do we have? How could I possibly just sit back and watch you suffer? Didn't I come find you the second I got back? You know me. I've always been a softie. I can't stand to see a stranger struggle, let alone you. Don't worry. I may not have much on hand, but 100,000 is nothing. I'll transfer it to you right now. Think of it as some emergency cash, and don't even think about refusing. All right then. But since Claire's family went bankrupt, how have things been between you two? How would I know? You know me. My degree had nothing to do with business. Even if she explained everything, it would go right over my head. Anyway, for now, we still have food to eat. She's always busy. What she's busy with, I have no idea. Asking wouldn't help anyway, so I just stopped. I was gonna file for divorce, but she told me there weren't any debts, so I figured, hey, why not just keep going? I heard Rosie came looking for you. She did, but she's not a good person either. Even at my absolute lowest, I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of someone like her. So I made a huge show of standing by Claire. It drove Rosie absolutely crazy. She could never measure up to Claire before, and she still can't. I'm nobody special, but the fact that Claire treated me decently, even at her lowest, well, that tells you everything about her character. Look, I'll take a decent person over a total scumbag any day of the week. Maybe Rosie only figured out what she wanted after you were gone. And let's be real, you're not exactly built for the tough life. How long can you actually keep this up? Honestly, it's not as bad as you'd think. Back when I was loaded, it was constant drama. My head was always a mess. The only fix was buying more stuff. Now, it's quiet. I do whatever I want. And I'm not some weakling who can't handle going simple. Before college, this was basically my life anyway, right? So yeah, this is fine. I've got zero complaints. Just gotta figure out how to make some more cash moving forward. You're gonna get a job, seriously? How's that even gonna work? Imagine running into people you know while you're scanning groceries or something. Besides, all the good jobs are taken. You'd be stuck doing grunt work. You think you could handle that? What's so tough about it? I might not have work experience, but I graduated from a top-tier university. I can learn. I've got the basics down. English, professional skills. I have what it takes. And Jasper suddenly remembers, oh right, I actually earned my way into a top college before meeting Claire and Rosie. Meanwhile, his own school record was a total joke. His family had to ship him overseas just so he could come back with a decent-looking degree. The thought instantly sours his mood, but you know he's not about to admit defeat. A degree is one thing, sure, but experience is another. Starting from zero now, you're way behind every new grad out there. It won't be easy. Hey, if I could get into a top university, I'll give it a shot. Surviving an entry-level job can't be harder than the college entrance exams. Oh, listen to me. Why am I even trying to explain this to you? It's cool, Jasper. It's totally understandable you wouldn't get it. I mean, you've never actually had to work a day in your life. I'm seriously jealous. You get to rely on your family at home. And in the future, you'll just rely on your wife. Never having to lift a finger for yourself. Just coasting. Sounds like paradise, man. Translation. He's a useless freeloader who can't survive unless someone is holding him up. Jasper tries his absolute best to keep a straight face. But inside, he is boiling. No wonder this guy's life is a train wreck. He's got zero social skills. I, on the other hand, am feeling amazing. We're just going back and forth, both knowing damn well what we're doing, playing nice while landing verbal punches every chance we get. The only difference is, every shot Jasper takes doesn't even leave a scratch on me. But every single point I hit, oh, it's a major weak spot. By the time we leave, I'm feeling fantastic. Jasper, though, looks like one more word from me and he might actually explode. Before I go, I remind him about the money transfer, knowing he'll need me again for whatever scheme he's cooking up. Jasper just nods. And then, looking like it physically pains him, he sends 100,000 yuan to my account. I walk out of there with cash in hand in a killer mood. When I get back home, Claire's on the couch with her laptop. She looks up when the door opens. I stroll in, kick off my shoes, hang up my jacket, wash my hands, and I'm grinning like an idiot the entire time. Can't hide it, I'm in a great mood. You're back. Haha, I just scammed 100,000 yuan for free. Pretty awesome, right? I'm waving my phone around, practically glued to my hand since I left. My voice is just dripping with smugness, and I'm not even trying to hide it. 100 grand from Jasper? Yep. He rolled in trying to act all high and mighty, digging for info. So I just bounced everything right back at him. Played the broke card, buttered him up with compliments, and basically trapped him in a corner. Then I just so happened to mention that if he didn't pay up, a friend of ours might hear about how cheap he is. To protect that precious reputation of his, he had to fork over the cash. And Claire suddenly recalls the old Ethan, the one who'd drop insane money on designer bags without a second thought. But now here's this guy, absolutely buzzing over 100,000 yuan. It gives her a weird feeling. Hey, it's free money. Why say no? And getting anything out of Jasper is a victory. Here, open your payment app. I'll send it over. Just think of it as Jasper finally paying you back for all that money he owed you. Take it. Don't even worry about our budget. Watching me hand over the cash so easily, Claire looks totally shocked. Is there something you want from me? Huh? No, we don't need anything at home. Nothing's broken. That is so not what she meant. But one look at my clueless face and it's obvious I missed the point. And then she actually pulls out her phone and opens the app for me. So, naturally, I transfer the money still fresh in my account right into hers. Like it's the most normal thing in the world. You're giving me money you just got for free. Doesn't that bother you at all? It was always your money to begin with. All those dinners with Jasper back in the day, every single one was on your dime. Look, now that we're a team, this goes back to you. I like money, sure, but I like earning it myself even more. And my writing gig, it's already paying off. Stick with me, and you'll never starve. Fancy restaurants might be out, but plain porridge and simple sides, we'll always have enough. Well, then thank you. Don't mention it. You treated me well before. This is nothing. Oh, by the way, I grabbed some stuff from the cafe, all untouched. You want some? Now, Claire grew up with money, sure, but she was never the wasteful type unless it was for business, of course. Back in the day, meals at home were always simple. The only difference was that the person cooking was basically a master chef. And yeah, she had takeout containers during her school years too, so he honestly never expected her to say yes. He just assumed she'd turn him down. He stammers a bit. Actually, I just remembered. It's all sweets that I packed. Is that all right? What's wrong with that? He grabs the bag from the door and opens it, and yup, it's completely full of pastries and small cakes. Claire, cool as ever, just picks one up and starts eating. After swallowing, she gives her verdict. These are better warm. You've had these before? She gives him a slow look, pulling out a napkin to wipe her hands. Grandpa used to love these. And just like that, it clicks. Old Master White had a thing for them. Claire must have bought them for him over the years, and he probably made her try one. That's when he realizes his mistake. He just brought up a memory that could really hurt her. The air gets thick. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. Sorry. You don't need to apologize. The past is separate from the present. There's nothing to be sorry for. Well, what do you want for dinner tonight? I'll make it. But the guilt is just eating him alive. Claire was always so considerate to the original Ethan. Plus, ever since he arrived, she hasn't given him a single hard time. And now he's gone and poked at an old wound, causing her emotional pain on top of everything else. It's just too much. Anything is fine. I have something to take care of. I'm heading out shortly and I'll be back late. Go ahead. I'll have dinner waiting for when you get back. Claire just looks at him. You can see she's about to say he doesn't have to wait. But then she sees the guilt still written all over his face, and the protest dies on her lips. All right. After Claire leaves, he thinks for a second, then cleans the apartment, writes a bit, and heads out for groceries. Around 8 p.m., the door clicks open. He looks up from his computer as Claire steps inside. He saves the file. You're back. The food should still be warm. Are you hungry? Claire takes off her coat and hangs it up, the winter chill she brought in dissolving instantly in the warmth of the room. Her eyes drift over, and she sees the spread laid out on the dining table. All covered to keep it warm, she quickly changes her shoes. You've been waiting this whole time? You must be starving. Let me just wash my hands. I'm all right. Not really that hungry. Listen, I can't always make it back at a regular time. I'll let you know in advance when I won't be home. Just eat when you're hungry. Don't wait for me. Got it. He already knew Claire's job wasn't a normal 9 to 5. The kind where you come home for dinner every day. If she's not coming back, honestly, it makes things a little easier for him. He can just throw together something simple for himself. But out of guilt, tonight's dinner is a straight-up feast. He even made steamed buns by hand. An impressive variety, 2 scallion rolls, sweet-filled buns, even cornbread and sweet potato rolls, all small and neat, each one gone in just 2 or 3 bites. They look adorable on the plate. Claire picks up a scallion roll and finishes it quick. She nods after swallowing. The buns are really good, right? It took me like 3 or 4 days just to figure out the right recipe and timing. It took some serious trial and error before I got them this good. Scallion rolls and sweet buns are my absolute favorites. My friends always loved them too. Whenever I had the time to spare, He stops mid-sentence. Oh no, he got a little too excited and almost let the truth slip. The skill really shows. Are those friends from university? Yeah, friends from university. We kind of lost touch after, and I haven't made steamed buns in ages. Didn't expect I still had it in me. Thankfully, the wealthy heiress didn't seem to read into it. One wrong thread, and his whole cover story could unravel. He lets out a quiet sigh of relief, completely missing the look of sharp interest on the face across from him. By the way, I've been simmering the chicken soup for a good while today. Make sure you drink plenty, okay? His chicken soup has always turned out amazing, and Claire genuinely enjoys it. Restaurant soups always seem to be missing something, but the soup he makes has that perfect balance of flavors. Deep down, Claire knows it herself. It's not really about the taste. It's the feeling of someone taking the time to make it just for her. When Claire was little, her mother used to make chicken soup for her too. It never tasted particularly good, but her mother always insisted it was essential for growing kids. And so, Claire's father would make sure she finished every single last drop. After her parents were gone, there was only one thing she ever truly missed: their chicken soup. The White family's best chefs, the housekeepers, they all tried to remake it, but it was never the same. As the years went by, Claire stopped asking, and eventually, everyone forgot. And maybe, just maybe, that's why I've been so patient with the woman currently staring a hole through my skull. Something about her just reminds me of my mom. Why are you staring at me? She asks, snapping me out of it. Is there something on my face? Oh crap, I just realized I've been zoned in on her this whole time. Doesn't she know how much pressure that is? Or did she notice something? You're getting dark circles, she says, deadpan. What? I jump up and race to the mirror, staring hard. There it is, a faint shadow, just starting to form. The beginning of dark circles. A literal chill runs down my spine. And Claire, she'd only mentioned it casually. She definitely didn't expect me to react like this. After a long pause, she calls out, "What's wrong? Are you done eating yet?" Her voice pulls me back. I sheepishly walk back out, probably from staying up late to write. It's getting worse. A few dark circles don't matter, she says. You're still very good looking. Hearing that from Claire, so unexpectedly? Yeah, my face was on fire. After dinner, I leap up to clear the table, but she stops me. Let me do it tonight. No, I've got it. I snatch the plates right out of her hands and basically power walk to the kitchen. Behind me, I hear Claire just laugh, shake her head, and let it go. Passing through the living room, she spots my laptop on the coffee table, still open. My story, right there on the screen. On a whim, she walks over for a closer look. I come out of the kitchen, feeling accomplished, and the scene in front of me stops my heart. Claire. Sitting on the sofa, perfect posture, chin in her hand, completely absorbed in my writing. Don't read that. I pretty much lunge across the room. Why not? It's not very good. All right then. I won't. I'm just starting to wonder if I overreacted when she pauses at her bedroom door and says, completely out of nowhere, honestly. I think it's a bit much that the female lead constantly drops everything at her company to hang out with the main character. If she's actually running a business, she just wouldn't have that kind of time. And with that, she walks into her room, closes the door, and leaves me sitting there, absolutely speechless. She read at least 2 chapters. The 2 most dramatic chapters I'd even written. Look, getting critiqued is fine, but I just wanted to scream, it's a romance novel. Romance beats realism. If I wrote a CEO story that was actually accurate, it'd be full of boring meetings and numbers. Nobody wants to read that. But she has no clue about web fiction, so explaining is a lost cause. A few days later, Claire's finished breakfast but is still home when there's a knock at the door. I just finished the dishes, so I go get it. Who could be here this early? They don't answer. Just knock again. I check the peephole. 2 young women are standing outside, and both of them are gorgeous, like effortlessly elegant, could be on a magazine cover striking. Definitely not your average visitors. My stomach sinks. I turn and knock on Claire's door. Someone's here. I think they're looking for you. Claire gets up from her desk and comes out, seeing the genuine panic on my face. There are two women out there, I whisper, and they are definitely not normal people. I don't know them. See if you know them. What I didn't say was, I'm 99% sure they're here to cause a scene. My mind's already running a million disaster scenarios. Meanwhile, outside, Tina finally stops knocking. You sure this is the right place? This is where Claire lives now. Then why isn't anyone answering? What if she's not home? I thought she and Ethan weren't divorced yet. Is he not here either? Don't ask me. I told you we didn't need to come. You just wouldn't listen. Claire's been crazy busy lately. She's not going to drop everything just because you showed up. I still need to see her. It's been a whole year, and she's had the absolute worst luck. I can't rest until I see for myself that she's okay. Tina pouts and stubbornly starts knocking again. No, wait, this time she's full on banging on the door. Suddenly it swings open. What are you two doing here? Claire asks. Come in. Claire, I've missed you so much. Your little sister is back. Tina shrieks with joy, launching herself at Claire. She throws her arms around her. All right, let's go. Good to have you back. Fiona sighs. See, Claire? You're the only one Tina actually cares about. The rest of us are just extras. Now get inside. I'm standing behind them, completely frozen. Could these two impossibly glamorous women actually be Claire's closest friends? Tina bounces inside cheerfully and runs right into my confused, deer-in-the-headlights face. She blinks. Her finger shoots up, pointing right at me. Why is there a man here? Wait, are you Ethan? What are you doing here? Then what is this? You're not divorced, Claire, but you're living together. It's not complicated. We are not living together. Would you rather I slept on the street? You talk too much. So, Ethan and Claire aren't divorced. Of course they're living together. What's the big deal? Come on, sit. Tina's mouth opens, but a smile just won't form in my direction. So she does the next best thing, pretends I'm a ghost. She stalks over to the sofa and sits. Fiona gives me a quick nod and does the same. I head to the kitchen, grab some tea for them. When I get back, it's a tribunal, all three of them, and the other two are staring daggers at Claire in a silence so heavy, I feel like I'm about to suffocate. Yeah, time to disappear. I've actually got something to handle this morning, so I'm gonna head out. I'll leave you to it. And I won't be home for lunch. Got it. I make a beeline for my room, throw on a jacket, snatch my stuff, and get the hell out. The moment Claire said that, Tina's eyes were practically bugging out of her head with disbelief. The second my front door clicks shut, she practically explodes. Home for lunch, Claire? Are you seriously calling this place times home asterisk? The question even throws Claire for a second before her cool composure returns. I've been eating here lately. He's a good cook. Claire, are you seriously planning on staying with him? Besides his face, he has nothing. It's not like handsome men are rare. I refuse to believe you're keeping him around just because he's pretty. If that was the case, it would have happened a long time ago. So what gives? Frankly, in all the years I've known him, I haven't seen anyone who even comes close. And people change. Don't judge him based on who he was. You didn't know him well before you left, and you haven't seen him since you got back. So where's all this confidence coming from? And last time I checked, do you think Claire's an idiot? If she's been this patient with Ethan, there's a reason. In case you forgot, the world thinks Claire is broke, and Ethan is still right here. Doesn't that seem just a little bit interesting to you? When Fiona ran that background check on him for Claire, she'd read it over and over. Her conclusion was odd. Her theory? Claire's keeping him close. On a leash. After all, a threat you can see is easy to handle. It's the ones in the shadows you gotta worry about. But before Tina can even nod, Claire says something that completely blindsides them both. It's not as complicated as you're making it. He's changed. Things are actually good between us now. We're only here because we had no other choice. These days, he works, he earns his own money, and he cooks. He says it reminds him of his life before university. Then why won't he divorce you? His fresh start has nothing to do with being married to you, does it? So why is he still around? There are other reasons. Reasons you don't need to know. Just be civil to him from now on. He's not as bad as you think. Tina opens her mouth to argue, but Fiona cuts her off. Claire knows what she's doing. We don't need to worry about it. If Ethan isn't who we thought, then we'll be polite. And Tina, I'm just saying, I know you and Claire are close, but can you please stop flying off the handle every single time her name comes up? Stop picking up Vera's bad habits or you're gonna drive yourself insane. I am nothing like her. That little airhead and I are not in the same league. You're getting closer every day. Remember when I told Vera not to hunt Claire down at that party? She went anyway. Almost caused a total disaster. You two are exactly the same, just in a different wrapper. That is completely different. I just got back. I didn't have all the facts. And you never explain anything right. It's always half a sentence and then nothing. I'm amazed I haven't lost my mind by now. My patience is truly a gift. Tina glares. Fiona just gives her a light, unbothered laugh. Enough. Now that you're back, are you joining the family company? I don't want to, but my dad is being impossible. You both know I have zero interest in the auto industry. It's driving me insane. You may not be interested, but talent doesn't care. You were pointing out engineering flaws in your dad's new car models when we were in high school. Did you really think he was going to let that slide? He probably wakes up laughing, knowing his daughter was born to take over the family business. Someone please save me. If I knew my dad was that calculating, I never would have fallen into his trap. My brief taste of freedom is almost over. My poor little food startup. He's going to swallow that up too. And what really gets me is he never once let on that he liked food. He hid it for years. Years. The man is terrifying. Having a parent pushing you forward is its own kind of blessing. Your father has planned so much for you. Treasure that. Yeah, well, I wasn't born with your ability to appreciate refined culture, Claire. All this tea just tastes the same to me. She chugs it in one go. At least that felt satisfying. Isn't that better? Haha, you got a point there. If it feels good, it works. Tina just rolls with the punches, totally unfazed. Not everyone's born with a refined soul, you know? It's no big deal. Besides, I was never going to be Claire anyway. So seriously, Claire, what's your actual plan? I refuse to believe this Victor Cross guy is some kind of god. How does one person predict everything and always beat you to the punch? Are you absolutely positive you don't have a leak? At that, the smile on Claire's face completely vanishes. She thinks for a second. I don't know where the weak point is. Even when I tell no one my plans, he still knows. This is way beyond a simple leak. As she talks, Tina and Fiona are hanging on her every word. You want me to sweep your stuff again? Maybe I missed some kind of listening device last time. I don't think so. I tried staying somewhere totally new. New place, new clothes, new everything. It made zero difference. Does he really have some kind of sixth sense? Not even your older sister could stop him? Nope. We teamed up against him. We set traps, tried a direct attack, everything. He dodged it all. Then somehow he got connected to the Quinn family. The Quinn family patriarch himself stepped in to mediate, which was basically a warning to back off. Old man Quinn? How is that even possible? Hasn't he stayed out of drama between the younger generation for years? Victor is just disgusting. If you're gonna fight, then fight. Calling in powerful old men for backup is just cheap. This isn't some schoolyard brawl where you play fair. I can't stand it. Why would the Quinn patriarch even help him? Yeah, I've never heard of old man Quinn doing favors for anyone. Apparently, Victor's wife saved old man Quinn's life once, and the old man really took a liking to her. But why is he targeting Claire so hard? Claire has her hands in so many different businesses. Even if he goes all in on his construction company, it barely even overlaps with what she does. Claire looks at her two friends, both totally stressed out, and she suddenly smiles. All right, isn't this actually a good thing? Stop worrying. Now that I've lost everything, I can finally see what he really wants. With nothing left to my name, I can finally figure out if he's targeting ME, or just trying to swallow up assets for his own greedy ambition. So, Claire, are you planning on going all in on the tech sector now? The investment for that is huge, and there's no telling when you'll see a return. But yeah, tech is the future. I've wanted to restructure and upgrade for a long time. Before, I had to worry about dragging the rest of the White family with me. They're just a bunch of leeches. Now, that weight is gone. It's actually much easier this way. Even if it helped you ditch some dead weight, you still took a major hit. You can't deny that. Once I take over my family's business, I'll help you get revenge on him. No way he can predict every single move we make. Don't make things more complicated. Once you take over, you'll need time just to figure things out. By the time you're ready to make a move, Claire will already be back on her feet. Just focus on your own stuff for now. Claire's got more brains than both of us combined, and if she needs us, we'll be there. After running nonstop for years, I can finally take a breath. What's the rush, Claire? How are you not freaking out right now? Since when does Claire ever freak out? Fair point. I've literally never seen her panic. All right then, Claire. Call me if you need anything at all. I'll be there. The three of them chat for a bit longer, then head out together. I get back that afternoon to a totally empty apartment, and I let out a huge sigh of relief. Man, Claire's friends are intense. Every single one of them, and they made it crystal clear they hated my guts. That kind of atmosphere is just draining. I told them I had to go take care of something. Total lie. It was just an excuse to escape. But once I was out, I realized I had nowhere to go. So I ended up at an internet cafe and started writing. The girl playing games next to me kept peeking over, probably because she was losing, like constantly. By the time she finally got the courage to talk to me, I'd already packed up and moved to another computer. But get this, even after I moved, the same thing happened. The new girl next to me slid over and tried to start a conversation, asking why I'd come to a place like this to write, acting like she could soak up some good luck from me or something. I had no idea what to even say to that. Finally back home, I feel like I can actually breathe again. I change my clothes, do a big stretch, and just flop onto the sofa, and then a thought hits me. A shower sounds amazing right now. I check my phone. A message from Claire. She won't be back till late, so I make a beeline for the bathroom and take the longest, best hot shower ever. I towel dry my hair, make some lemon tea, and bust out the snacks I bought earlier. Sinking into the sofa, I feel amazing. I think about it for a second and decide, nope, no writing tonight. I open my laptop, pull up a movie I've been wanting to see, and just settle in, totally content. As it plays, I'm just alternating between grabbing snacks and sipping my tea. There is no better feeling in the world than having absolutely nothing to do. Showered, hair dried, snacks ready, movie on. This is, without a doubt, the most relaxed I've felt since I got here. The movie's hitting its peak, and I am completely lost in it. I've forgotten where I even am. A door slams open on screen, and a real one slams open right behind me. Yikes. Talk about a jump scare. The timing is just brutal. You didn't eat lunch? Claire's voice cuts in from the doorway. I jump so hard, chips scatter all over my lap. I look up, and there she is, Claire, frowning just a little. She's a few feet away, head tilted, eyes locked on me. No, wait on my now empty chip-dusted hands. From her perspective, I must look like a startled animal caught in the headlights. A koala, maybe, just frozen. She just stares. You weren't supposed to be home until late. I finally get the words out, my face burning hot with embarrassment. It sounds like a total accusation. Claire just slips on her slippers and walks in. She avoids my eyes as she talks. I finished early. Tina's thing got canceled. Her dad called her in, so she had to run. So that company visit got put on hold. I mean, it's not like the building is going anywhere. We'll get to it. You didn't eat? I pinched the chip bag, trying to stealthily hide it while putting on a big smile. Of course I ate. Just, having some movie snacks. As I say it, I pull off the perfect slide and drop, sending the bag under the table and straight into the trash can. In the original Ethan's memories, Claire never touched junk food, so being caught with it makes me feel like a total degenerate. That's all junk food. Don't eat too much of it. Yep, I know. Only once in a while. So, you staying home for dinner? At the word home, something in her expression shifts for a split second. Yes. I was already planning my takeout order. So much for that. Guess I'm cooking. The movie's ruined. The shower was a waste. My perfect evening, gone. Just like that. Life really loves to throw curveballs. What's wrong? Claire's pouring herself some water, and she gives me this look. She can tell I look absolutely pathetic. Nothing. What do you want for dinner? Whatever you feel like. All right, meatball soup it is. Got plenty of soy pulp left from this morning. I was actually planning to fry up the meatballs tonight for soup tomorrow morning. But since she's back, might as well make it now. Okay, I have some things to take care of. Go ahead. I'll call you when it's done. Claire disappears into her room, and I glance at my dark laptop screen. I see my reflection for a second, and that's when it hits me. In all the chaos of hiding the evidence, I completely forgot my hair is a train wreck. Okay, that explains the look she gave me. I leap off the sofa, sprint to the bathroom, and frantically drag a comb through my hair. My inner monologue is just screaming. Why did I let myself go? Haven't I ever heard of Murphy's Law? And now Claire has seen me in that state. I want to just phase through the wall. Meanwhile, she looks, as always, absolutely perfect. I seriously feel like banging my head against the mirror. I don't normally care this much about how I look, but there's just something about Claire. If you're not at your absolute best around her, you feel like you just disappear next to her perfection. I have a strong feeling this is why a lot of people can't stand her. The circles she runs in are full of rich, powerful people, a lot of second-gen heirs who've been spoiled their whole lives. These are people used to being the center of attention everywhere they go, but then this one person walks in and instantly turns everyone else into background characters. Who wouldn't be unnerved by that? That's exactly why the original Ethan never even thought about pursuing Claire. He just didn't have the nerve. And now I'm about to cook dinner for that walking masterpiece. Better not screw it up. Then I have to sit there and eat with her, trying to act normal while facing down that impossible charisma. Frying meatballs always makes the whole place smell like oil. I'm standing over the stove, completely focused. My hands are moving on their own, dropping one perfect ball after another into the fryer. A rich, delicious scent fills the apartment. About an hour later, Claire comes out of her room. The second she opens the door, the smell of fried food and the faint sound from the kitchen hit her. She follows the sound and finds me at the stove, a look of pure concentration on my face. My hands move with a smooth, practiced rhythm. I'm humming some little tune under my breath. The picture of total contentment. Golden meatballs pop out of the oil, one by one. One cute little guy comes out, and a whole line of them are waiting to jump in. Yep, you're all adorable little meatballs, and I bet you're gonna taste amazing. I'll make you into a delicious soup. I promise, your life won't be wasted. Seriously, who makes cooking this much fun? She's never seen anyone like him. and her curiosity is getting the best of her. Folding her arms, she just leans against the door, waiting to see what I'll do next. And trust me, I don't disappoint. With just a few meatballs left, I scoop them out and pivot to the veggies, still chatting away to myself. And you little guys, too. So fresh, so vibrant. You must have worked hard to get here. Don't worry, I'll treat you right, promise. You'll look so pretty floating in the soup. Your existence will have meaning. I'm happily lost in my own world, my mind wandering through story ideas, when I turn around and almost collide with a real, live person standing in my doorway. I stumble back, my foot slips, and my entire body starts tipping backward. Claire startles too. She instinctively reaches out to grab me, but just before she can, I catch the sink behind me and steady myself. Her hand lands right on my waist, and wow, a strange warmth, like a sudden spark, sends a shiver through me before I can stop it. Why would you just appear like that? I almost fell. Do you need something? Nothing. I just came for some water and heard noises, so I thought I'd check it out. I was just humming. Cooking by myself gets boring, you know? The meatballs are done. They are. Want one? Claire pauses. Oh right, how could I forget? She doesn't eat fried food. They smell amazing, but fried stuff isn't healthy for you. If you're not hungry, just wait. Not healthy? Come on. Even she knows fried food is just a little oily. It's not poison. She steps a little closer. How do you eat them? It takes me a second to process that. Wait, she actually wants to try one. I automatically offer her the chopsticks. Claire takes them, glances down, and sees they're the ones I've been using. She freezes. What's wrong? Nothing. She hands them back. And while I'm just staring at her, completely confused, she reaches out, picks up a meatball with her fingers, and pops it right in her mouth. My jaw drops. The rich and proper Claire Aries just ate food with her bare hands. The meatball is piping hot. She bites down, and a wave of savory soy and rich, fried goodness fills her mouth. The heat surprises her, and she sucks in a sharp breath. But damn, it's delicious. We were already standing close. Now Claire is right in my personal space. After she's done, she takes a tiny step back. She catches me just staring at her, mind blank. She tilts her head. What? Her face turning to me so suddenly makes me jump again. Luckily, my feet stay planted this time, but I slam my back right into the wall behind me. Nothing! Was it good? Very. Well, if that's all, you should probably go. It's getting oily in here. The soup's almost ready anyway. I'll call you. By the time the soup is actually finished, my good mood has totally vanished. And Claire can definitely tell something's off. I give her a bowl loaded with goodies and pour myself one with mostly broth. Didn't you make a ton of meatballs? Why is your bowl so empty? Is yours not enough? I look over at her bowl. It's packed. That's more than enough for her. Is she extra hungry today or something? She points a slender finger at my bowl. Yours? Oh, I was around the frying fumes too long, kind of lost my appetite. What I'm definitely not admitting is that I weighed myself right before dinner, and I'm up 2 pounds. Claire doesn't push it, but as she eats, she notices me zoning out, staring at her bowl with an expression that just screams. I want that so bad. Combine that with my pre-meal weigh-in, and it all clicks for her. You ate too many snacks today. Not a question, a statement. I feel like I've just been stabbed through the heart, but I deny it anyway. No, I didn't. Claire says nothing. She just gives me a look. Fine. I had few times snacks. Just a bowl of jelly, a box of cookies, a small popcorn, and like half a bag of chips, saying it all out loud. Okay, it sounds like a lot, but no way does that add up to 2 pounds. Snacks are full of chemicals. You should stop. If you're craving something, just go eat the real thing. It's not like you have to worry about money. That was the last thing I expected her to say. That little spark of annoyance I was feeling, instantly gone. Her face is as calm and unreadable as ever, but the concern in her voice was 100% real. Claire is actually a good person. She was genuinely worried about me. Understood. I'll try to cut back. Claire doesn't say another word, and I finish my sad little bowl of broth without complaint. After dinner, I start my nightly writing session, but this time, Claire doesn't go back to her room. She comes out and sits right beside me. I spoke to them today. They won't be treating you like they did this morning anymore. The misunderstanding about you has been cleared up, so next time they visit, you don't have to hide. So you guys are close friends? Claire just nods. It's fine. The misunderstanding doesn't really matter to me. They're your friends, not mine. I couldn't care less. And honestly, it makes sense that they look down on me. I'm really not the kind of guy they'd ever approve of. As long as we all just stay out of each other's way, that's good enough for me. When they come to see you, it's just easier if I'm not here. You can all talk freely. Besides, I actually had stuff to do today. All right, you gonna keep writing tonight? Yep, did you finish that film? Almost. I'll just watch the rest later. If you don't want me to know what you're watching, you could always get headphones. I slowly pull back the hand that was reaching for my cup, forcing a stiff smile. Why would I care if you know I'm educated and well-read? Does that make you some kind of authority on what's worth watching? She doesn't answer. Instead, she just grabs my cup and hands it to me. If you want to write good fiction, just watching movies isn't enough. You have to analyze them. I don't mind the noise, though. You can watch whenever you want. Okay, got it. Claire gets up and heads back to her room. I take a sip of water and put the cup down. Still can't watch that movie. No writing means no income, simple as that. Over the next few days, Claire sticks to her usual schedule. Out early, back late. We settle into a routine breakfast together, dinner together, and the entire day in between spent in our own separate worlds. Then one afternoon, Claire comes home early. I'm deep in my writing. I don't even look up at the sound of the door, just say, out of habit, you're back. Then, a familiar kid's voice cuts through the air, not even trying to hide its shock and total disgust. Why is HE here? You two still haven't gotten a divorce? The voice belongs to the kid of Claire's late cousin, who died with his wife in an accident. They were the closest people in the world to Claire. After they were gone, she took in their son. His name is Luca. He's 8 years old, and he absolutely loathed the original Ethan. It wasn't anything personal exactly. The original Ethan just had zero warmth for kids. None. So from the moment Luca entered his life, the original Ethan never showed him a single kind look. That alone might have been whatever. But then one holiday, Luca was starving at home, and the private chef was sick. Luca kept begging for something, anything to eat, but the original Ethan was too busy running off to meet his loser friends to even care. He ordered delivery food that was way too spicy, something a kid could never eat, and Luca ended up sick for days. Because of that stunt, Claire cut off a huge chunk of the original Ethan's allowance, and from that day on, the two of them have absolutely despised each other. That was the situation when I took over. I actually like kids, but I doubt Luca feels the same way about me. Yeah, that opening line made his feelings crystal clear. We haven't divorced, so of course he's here. Not only that, from now on you'll be living with him too, and he's in charge of your food. What? Are you joking, Auntie? In the past, whenever Luca showed his dislike for me in front of Claire, she never said a single word. As long as he wasn't completely out of line, she just let it slide. So why is she reacting differently now, Auntie? Is what people are saying true? Did you really go broke? Is that why you're still putting up with him? I stay completely silent. Honestly, I'm dying to hear how Claire's gonna answer this. She calmly flicks Luca's forehead with a finger. Watch your mouth. Being a kid doesn't give you a free pass to say whatever you want. And yes, I did go broke, which means you don't have a choice. Luca's mouth just hangs open. He stares for a solid 3 seconds. Then he shakes his head like crazy. Impossible! My dad always said you were the most capable person he ever knew. How could the most capable person go bankrupt? And your business was huge. How could it all just disappear? Oh no, I haven't even grown up yet. How am I supposed to make money and support our family? I'm basically still a baby, and now I have to be the breadwinner. What can I even do? I'm in 3rd grade. Maybe you could send me to be a child model. I've had runway training, and I'm cute, so someone would probably hire me. Not a chance. You have no connections now. How do you think all those obviously unattractive child models get work? They get picked based on looks and background. Unfortunately for you, you don't have that ladder anymore. You're lying. You know so many people. You've helped tons of them. Make them help you back. Then let this be a lesson you never forget. Everyone loves a winner, but it takes a real friend to love a loser. When you help someone, never expect anything in return. If they don't stab you in the back, consider yourself lucky. Claire follows me into the bathroom, her voice echoing off the tile. So, what's the plan? We have to live here now? No more good food? No more nice clothes? The kids at school are already talking. They're asking, am I really going to have to transfer? Is that true? Yeah, it is. During the holidays, you're here with me, and the food and clothes you're used to, they're mostly gone. What about transferring? Do you want to? Yes, my classmates are laughing at me. They think I'm clueless, but I hear every word. You won't be transferring right away, though. We've already paid for 1 more semester of tuition. Later, Claire and Luca come out and sit on the couch. I'm over here, trying to look busy, but there's no way I can ignore them. I quietly grab some tangerines, the only fruit we have, and put them on the table in front of them. It's all we've got, but I can feel it, they're all talking about me. It sucks when you have no power to back you up. Getting talked about, even made fun of. It's just part of life. But listen, even when you make it, when you have all the power, people will still talk, they'll still laugh, and it'll be even worse than it is now. If you get strong enough, they'll just learn to do it behind your back. As she talks, Claire peels a tangerine for Luca. You haven't said hello yet. As Luca reaches for the fruit, Claire gives me a subtle nod. Luca's eyes follow hers, and he finally looks at me. His mouth opens. then closes. He hesitates for a second, then asks Claire, "What am I even supposed to call him?" "You can just call me Ethan." "Okay, Ethan. Are you on vacation? What do you want to eat? I'll make it. You can cook? Then why didn't you cook before?" He looks up at me, all wide-eyed innocence, and asks the sharpest question possible. "We had a chef before." He says it so casually, like it's no big deal. Rice is fine. Seriously. Just a couple of simple side dishes will do. But I end up going a little overboard. As I start cooking, I put way more effort into it than I usually do. I try to make the rice and dishes as fun and kid-friendly as possible. I've always had a soft spot for kids. In my past life, I was always playing around with my friends' little ones. So the moment I saw Luca, I instantly liked him. The kid's seriously adorable. If things between us weren't so complicated, I probably would have scooped him up for a hug already. Claire takes Luca to her room to change. A little while later, dinner's ready, so I go call them. Luca comes out in his pajamas, washes his hands without being asked, and hops into the chair I set for him. He sees the food on the table and his eyes go wide. He points. "You made all this?" I'd shaped everything into little cartoon faces. Even his rice has a smiley face made of egg. His portion only, of course. Claire's and mine are totally normal. Luca gets the special treatment. "First day of the holidays, you're the VIP. I'll get you a smaller set of utensils tomorrow. The adult ones are a pain to use. You don't have to make special food for me. I'm not a little kid anymore. I don't need to be babied into eating. I eat normal stuff at school. I'm in 3rd grade. Even if you were in college, you'd still be a kid to us. Besides, I cook what I want. You just decide if you're gonna eat it. And if you don't, next time I'm making all the stuff you hate the most. We're broke. So if you don't eat what's here, don't expect any pocket money for snacks. You'll just be hungry. You're so. What do you say when someone does something nice for you?" Luca presses his lips together, then says politely, "Thank you, Ethan." I can't help myself. I ruffle his hair. Don't mention it. Luca obviously loved it. He's just trying hard to pretend he didn't. Such a little tsundere. But even his tough guy act is pretty cute. You don't need to make him a separate dish from now on. Kids from the White family aren't that picky when it comes to food. Luca nods like his life depends on it, declaring he's exactly that type of kid while covering his head just in case. Whether he's picky is his problem. Whether I spoil him is mine. "Luca, you really think a cartoon face on your rice is going to make you soft?" "Of course not. A little good food won't ruin my character. Then I'll just have to ask you to put up with it. After all, I'm completely weak against cute kids. And now that there's a kid in the house, I finally have an excuse to make kids' meals. So really, thank you for your help, Luca." "You're welcome." Claire just watches the whole thing, saying nothing. She doesn't mention the kids' meal again. The 3 of us start eating. And Luca eats way faster than the original Ethan's memories suggested he would. He clearly likes the food. After dinner, I start doing the dishes like always. Luca looks even more shocked. "You do chores too? We really must be broke." What can I say? Life's highs and lows. They tend to sneak up on you. So you better study hard. Otherwise, you'll end up just like this. I'm first in my class, and my school's one of the best. I entered a competition this semester. And my teacher says I can probably win first place. And first place comes with prize money. 50 grand, I'm thinking. Then we'd have money for food. This is the rich kid life, huh? An elite school where even the elementary contest prizes are that insane. I could totally enter more of these competitions. My aunt never let me before, worried it would mess with my studies. But now, I bet she'd be fine with it. 4 competitions. That's 200,000 yuan. Then we'd actually have money for meals. Oh wait, I don't have that kind of time. If I want to keep my grades perfect, I can probably only handle 3. That's just 150,000. It's barely enough to eat. 150,000 is barely enough for food? Do you have any idea how many people don't even make 10 grand a month? That is a lot of money. 150 grand barely buys 2 of your watches. Is that really a lot? You used to eat shark fin soup. Do you know how much 1 bowl of that costs? What does some other person's salary have to do with us? Are we supposed to live like them? Being broke is terrifying. It turns someone who used to blow money without a thought into someone who thinks 150K is a fortune. How long has my aunt even been in this situation? You just adapt. When you have money, you spend it. When you don't, you live a little more carefully. Even if you won that money, you can't blow it all on food. Our standard of living has dropped. And the food standard drops with it, of course. But even with home-cooked meals every day, I promise you won't starve. Just then, Claire walks over with a glass of water, glancing at Luca. "Time to do your homework." "Okay, I'm going." He turns his back to Claire and mouths, "Save me," before heading into her room. "He sleeps with you at night?" "Yeah. I'll start looking for a bigger place to rent." She had planned to send Luca to some holiday program, but he flat out refused, so she brought him here. I chose my next words very carefully. Time to talk about buying a house. Have you thought about it anymore? I sold a few more watches and some clothes. We definitely have enough for a down payment. We'll see. She sighed. Well, since Luca's here for the holidays, we should probably look at places with 3 bedrooms. I have income from my writing now, I pushed. I can handle the mortgage. Money isn't the problem here. I'm just worried Claire will get stressed about the price and try to settle for something too small. After that, we both fall silent, going back to our own business. Having a kid in the apartment suddenly makes the whole place feel more alive, especially since Luca is anything but shy. Claire is out most of the day, leaving just me and the kid. At first, we kept to ourselves, but eventually, boredom won. So Luca started chatting with me whenever he came out to stretch. He's still just a kid. Super smart, yeah, but he can only sit still for so long. Once he realized I was genuinely different from the guy I used to be, and that I was actually nice to him, he finally started to drop his guard. Why don't you divorce my aunt? He asked one day. She's seriously broke. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. She used to give me so much, like you said. So shouldn't I be here for her now that things are tough, even if she can't give me money to spend anymore? If I just walked out on her now, what kind of scumbag would that make me? And you really want me to leave you all alone with her? Then who would cook for you? You'd be on your own. That's not the point. I won't starve. He paused. I don't get what's going on with you, but you're not as awful as I thought. I used to really, really hate you. I thought all you did was spend her money. My aunt basically married a walking credit card, but back then she was loaded, so I guess it didn't matter. Still a shame, though. She could have married someone better, but I guess you're not completely useless after all. Before my parents died, they told me not to judge people by what's on the surface. They said to look at their character, their heart. Your talent isn't much, but you don't run away when things get tough. So, your character is passable. I can't help myself, I mess up his hair again. You think way too much for a little guy. None of this is your problem. Your only job is to study, play, and have fun. I don't need to worry about studying. I already told you, I'm always #1. And don't compare me to whatever normal kids you knew before. I'm a member of the elite IQ club. I pull back the tangerine I was about to hand him, popping a slice in my mouth and chewing slowly. Did anyone ever tell you I also graduated from a top university? You? A top university? That's right. One of the best in the country. Why I married your aunt. Why I acted the way I did. There were reasons for everything. But I figured it all out now. I'm back to being the real me. Understand? I offer him the tangerine again. He reaches for it, and I pull it back one more time. He snatches it from my hand. Finally, are you going to give it to me or not? I press my lips together, hiding a smile, and finally let him have it. Here you go. So, how do wontons for lunch sound? I'm already getting hungry. Make a lot. Deal. I smile. I'll make sure you're well fed, young Master Luca. I save my work, get up, and head for the kitchen. Luca's watching me, staring as I walk to the kitchen with this look he doesn't even know he has, a look you could only call longing. Ever since his parents died, he hasn't had a home that felt like this one. Warm. Lived in. Back at Claire's villa? Sure, they had everything. And Claire was good to him, but it wasn't. Life. Just a place to exist. He was never really at peace. But now, with me here, fussing over him every day, it just feels right. Natural. And when he talks to me, it's like he's talking to family. He can say literally anything. For the first time in forever, he feels like he actually has a home. He finally gets why his aunt's been a little less icy toward me. And Claire's noticing. She sees how comfortable Luca is getting around me. In the evenings, she'll ask about his day, and his answer is always good. Then, one night at dinner, I throw out an idea. Hey, I've got some time on my hands. And Luca's been cooped up for ages. What if I take him to the amusement park tomorrow? And just like that, Claire's chopsticks freeze. She sees right through it. Luca goes completely still, vibrating with excitement he can barely hold back. And she realizes he's been home for 5 days and hasn't stepped outside once. Fine, I'll rearrange my schedule for tomorrow. I open my mouth, then close it. What can I even say? My plan was to take Luca myself, but now that the Ice Queen has invited herself, I can't exactly say no. Luca, on the other hand, just lights up. His eyes are shining with pure, unfiltered joy. He turns to me with the biggest smile I've ever gotten from him. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Auntie. If you're busy, Auntie, Ethan, and I can go. Right, I totally forgot amusement parks are a nightmare on weekends. Never went to one in my past life. The only reason I thought of it was seeing Luca being so good, stuck inside all day, and then writing a scene set in one. Luca's parents died when he was only 6. Claire would never think to take him to a place like this. I can't help but feel for the little guy. The next morning, Luca is up super early. He opens his eyes, peeking outside. The sky isn't even fully awake yet. He checks the little alarm clock on his nightstand. Not even 6 a.m. Claire usually wakes him up right at 6. He lies perfectly still, afraid to move and wake her. Honestly, Luca thinks sharing a room is way better than that huge, empty bedroom at the villa. This is the first time he and Claire have ever been this close. He feels connected to her, sure, but there's always been a distance. Living here like this, sometimes it almost feels like his parents are back. He knows it's not real, but damn, he likes the feeling. You're awake. Luca jumps, turning to find Claire already sitting up, staring at him. Same blank expression as always, but she just woke up. There's a sleepy softness to her that makes her seem gentler. Yeah, just now. He scrambles out of bed, grabbing his clothes and dressing himself. Claire doesn't help. Kids from her kind of family are taught independence from day one. They step out of the bedroom. Their footsteps are quiet by instinct as they head to the bathroom. In the mirror, their faces are reflected side by side. You can see the family resemblance, both good-looking, brushing their teeth with the same quick, intense energy. Auntie, should we wake Ethan up? No need, he'll get up. I'm also a 6 a.m. person, gotta start on breakfast. Normally, they'd go back to the room and wait. Auntie, Ethan works so hard cooking for us. Why don't we eat out today? Claire just looks at him. You mean he works hard cooking for times us asterisk, right? Well, I just mean we're not so broke we can't afford to eat out once in a while. Ethan doesn't have to cook every day. This is his life. And before Luca can even process that cold-as-ice answer, Claire grabs him by the collar and marches him back to the room to read. They're barely inside when my door opens. I pull back every curtain, and outside, the sky is perfect, bright and clear. A huge smile spreads across my face as I stretch with a loud, satisfied groan. Breakfast is easy. I prepped everything last night. Not much left to do. Half an hour later, I go call them like I always do. We finish breakfast and get ready to go. But, wait, why do we have backpacks? Luca looks down at the small pack on his back, then at the huge one on mine, totally confused. Dude, did you forget we're broke? Everything inside that amusement park costs a fortune. It's the same stuff you can buy literally anywhere else. So obviously it's smarter to bring our own. Don't worry, yours just has light snacks. It won't be heavy. But how much could snacks possibly cost? Even if they mark it up, there's gotta be a limit, right? They're just snacks. How much could they be? I unzip his backpack and pull out a bag of crackers to make my point. I snagged these crackers for 10 yuan at the supermarket. Go on, check how much they're scalping people for inside the park. I dare you. Fine, I'll look, he huffs, trying to sound annoyed, but immediately turns around so I can stuff the snacks back in his bag. Total pushover. And with that, our little crew finally hits the road, with Claire handling the driving. On the way, with absolutely nothing else to do, I decide to tell Luca a story. My own web novels? Definitely not age-appropriate for a third grader. So after racking my brain, I land on a classic fairy tale. Cinderella. Can't go wrong with that one, right? Short and sweet. I'm not even 10 minutes in when I finish. Luca, who seemed to be hanging on every word, gives me his very generous, very serious verdict. Your pronunciation is pretty good, Ethan. I honestly don't know whether to laugh or just facepalm. Dude, did you even listen to the actual story? I know Cinderella is a classic. You've probably seen it a million times. But hey, even Confucius said you can learn new things from old stories. You should have gotten something new from it. You're right, he says, but I've already analyzed this story multiple times. There's nothing new left to find. The girls in my class all get emotional about the prince and Cinderella's romance, but thanks to my auntie's coaching, I get it. Even as a poor girl, Cinderella was still the daughter of a count. Marrying a prince wasn't a fairy tale. It was a perfectly calculated social move. So at the end of the day, it's just a love story between two social equals who overcome some drama. The end. I just stare, a little laugh escaping me. All right then, smart guy, tell me this. If you were Cinderella in that situation, what would you do? Would you just patiently put up with the evil stepmother, try to tattle to your dad, or would you fight back yourself? Going to her father? Completely useless. If her dad gave a damn about her, she wouldn't have been suffering that long in the first place. Fighting back is also a bad move. If she's too obvious about it, it's disrespecting her elders. Her reputation would be toast and nobody would marry her. Running away is out too. A girl who runs from home loses her good name just the same and ends up unmarriable. So, her only real option is to endure. You're young, but man, your logic is cold. So you're saying her fate was sealed from the start? Of course not. Enduring is her only main times action, but there are tons of smaller moves she can make. Take reputation, for example. Yeah, being mean to elders is bad, but a stepmother treating her stepdaughter that horribly? That's just as bad for the stepmom's reputation. And she has two of her own daughters to worry about. She'd better think twice about whether her daughters can find husbands if word gets out about how she runs her house. From the driver's seat, Claire glances at us in the rearview mirror. After Luca's little speech, she gives this tiny, almost imperceptible nod. I'm genuinely shocked by the strategic mind of this 8-year-old. So, what are you saying? Luca keeps explaining his game plan, perfectly calm and logical. Before I know it, the car is pulling smoothly into a parking spot. The second we stop, Luca is the first one out, practically bouncing with an energy he can't contain. I jump out after him, grabbing his hand and giving him the rundown. Listen, this place is always a madhouse, and today it's even worse. You're adorable, exactly the type kidnappers love. So you hold my hand, or your aunt's hand, at all times. You stay close. If anything feels off, you scream. Got it? Understood. Don't worry, Ethan. I'm not naive. I'll stick right next to you and Auntie. I know I'm just a kid. I'm not strong enough to fight an adult. If someone tried to grab me, struggling is pointless. Our teacher told us what to do, so I won't wander off. Fair enough. The kid has his head on straight. Guess the adults can breathe a little easier. The three of us head toward the entrance. Since I pre-booked the tickets online, we just need to print them out. Compared to the ridiculously long line snaking away from the ticket office, our life is looking pretty good. Once we're inside the gates, the whole place is buzzing with energy. Now, Claire and I, we're the kind of people who get noticed. And sure enough, the moment we walk in, we're getting looks from every direction. A few people look like they want to come over and talk, but the second they spot Luca holding both our hands, they hit the brakes. Hard. Look at that young couple over there with their kid. They're gorgeous. For a second, I thought they were celebrities or something. What a shame they're already a family. I might have gone over and said hi. I just have to know, do all the good-looking guys only go for beautiful women? So a girl like me who's just average. I can't find a handsome guy? This hurts. Are you seriously still hung up on that? All I'm saying is that little boy with them is absolutely adorable, and he looks so well-behaved, too. Model. I wish I could have a son that cute. Honey, wake up. You and your husband's faces combined don't even come close. And you're still dreaming of a kid that looks like times that asterisk? Hearing them, I wanted to burst out laughing. Too bad Luca isn't actually my kid, or I'd be rolling on the floor. Ethan, what should we ride first? Whatever you want. The roller coaster looks fun, so do the bumper cars. What do you think? I've actually never been to an amusement park before, so I only know a few of the famous rides. Luca hesitates for a second, his eyes drifting towards the massive roller coaster in the distance. Then, his mind is made up. Let's do the roller coaster first. All right, coaster it is, then bumper cars. The line for the coaster is huge. It's all families and couples. I don't even wait for Claire. I just walk straight to the back of the line, waving them over. I'll hold our spot. If you guys get tired, just go rest over there. The people around us start whispering. One woman nearby is practically glowing with envy as she nudges her boyfriend. Look at that. A guy that good-looking is actually willing to wait in line so his wife and kid can rest. I'm so unbelievably jealous. What's wrong? You got a problem with me now? All you see is a hot guy in line. You're not seeing how gorgeous his wife is, or the fact that every single thing she's wearing is designer. 50,000 yuan, easy, head to toe. If you had that kind of cash, you could hire someone to wait for you too. That guy's either an idiot or he's totally whipped at home. If I had his looks, I'd never end up with a woman who doesn't even love me. Oh boy, the guy let his real thoughts slip out. His girlfriend immediately gives him a swift kick to the shin. What did you just say? Say it again. I dare you. No, I was just talking crazy, total nonsense. It was a joke. A person with a great personality like you would never do something so tacky. Luca tugs on Claire's sleeve. He heard every word, and there's no way his aunt didn't. Is it really okay for Ethan to line up by himself? Didn't your teacher ever tell you about equality? He's taking this turn. After this, we all take turns, you included. Luca lets out a sigh of relief. Okay, so she's not just using Ethan as free labor. He used to really dislike Ethan, but that's changed. If it were the old Ethan, Luca wouldn't have cared how Claire treated him. But this Ethan? If Claire was hard on him now, Luca would actually feel bad for the guy. Today's Ethan is a genuinely good person. Meanwhile, the women nearby, married or not, have drifted into some totally unrelated conversation. Luca has zero interest in their gossip, so he pulls Claire over to a nearby bench. Since Ethan wasn't being forced to wait all day, he figured there was nothing to feel guilty about. Everyone would get their turn soon. After a short wait in line, our turn finally came up. Luca naturally sat in the middle, with me on one side and Claire on the other. Even after we were strapped in, people kept staring at us. Honestly, it was making me a little uncomfortable. But I glance over, and Claire is sitting on this roller coaster like she's attending a board meeting. Calm, elegant, and completely unfazed, as if none of this could possibly touch her. I look at Luca, and he's not paying attention to anyone, his big eyes just blinking happily as he checks his safety harness. Again, he even remembers to remind me. Ethan, check your straps. Make sure they're tight. Don't be careless. I give everything a once-over. All good. Don't worry. Then my eyes drift back to Claire. Just sitting there, total composure, as if nothing in the world matters, and suddenly I get really curious. On a ride this insane, would Claire finally act like a normal person? Or would she somehow manage to stay completely stone-faced through all of it? I decided right then I was going to watch her closely. So from the second the coaster started moving, I kept one eye glued on Claire. At first, it's slow, just click, 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 climbing the track. As we get closer to the highest point, my heart starts climbing right along with the car. The moment of truth was coming. In that split second, right before we hit the peak, Claire finally moves. She unclasps her hands and places them on the safety bar, but her expression? Absolutely no change, still staring straight ahead. The next second, we plunge. The world drops out from under us, gaining speed like a bullet. My own tolerance is actually pretty decent. It wasn't unbearable. And Luca? He was just pure excitement from start to finish, not a hint of fear. All around us, people are screaming, some in terror, some in joy. But Claire? She stays completely silent, even as the wind whips her hair into a total mess. Her only reaction? A tiny, almost unnoticeable furrow of her brow. And her? She might as well be sitting on a park bench. Meanwhile, the wind is trying to rip my face off as my body gets thrown around like a rag doll. I glance over at the woman next to me, who even as this death trap sways violently, doesn't even flinch. Not once. I can't help but think to myself, she's just as calm as she is getting groceries. Seriously, what's the point of even riding a roller coaster if you're going to be like that? The ride is mercifully short, just a few minutes. As the car grinds to a halt, the symphony of screaming around us finally dies down. Luca's face is still glowing with pure adrenaline. I look over at Claire. Even with her hair a total mess, she still looks intimidatingly cool. That was awesome, right, Ethan? Last time I was kind of scared, but not this time. Not at all. I think I'm officially the bravest guy ever. The second his feet hit the ground, Luca grabs my arm, buzzing with excitement. Of course, the poor kid is so wobbly he almost faceplants right there. I quickly steady him, trying not to fall over myself. Yeah, Luca, you're a legend. Only 8 years old and taking on roller coasters like a champ. Way braver than me. When I rode one in middle school, I legit started crying. There was this new coaster in a park near my house, and on some rare day off, my parents, who were also free, decided to drag me on it. The entire ride, I squeezed my eyes shut so hard I saw stars. And even then, the second I got off, I just collapsed on the ground and sobbed. I was young. It was a total sensory overload. It was way too much for a kid. Wow, you really were a total scaredy cat. I didn't even cry when I rode it, and I was younger than 6. Don't worry, if you ever get scared again, just hold on to me. I'll protect you, so you don't have to be afraid. Right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Luca. What a little angel. Those sweet words coming from that adorable face. My heart pretty much turned to mush. So what's next? Bumper cars, right? We're doing bumper cars. Ethan wants to play. Whoa, hold on. Since when did I say I wanted to play bumper cars? I'm completely lost. I never said that. I was just making a suggestion. Then why suggest it if you didn't want to go? Adults can ride bumper cars, you know. The truth is, I absolutely do not want to ride the bumper cars. I only said it because my brain short-circuited and couldn't think of anything else. I have literally never been to an amusement park before. But before I can even get a word out, Claire grabs Luca's other hand and just starts walking. Luca follows, yanking me forward with him. It's official. These two are convinced I'm dying to ride the bumper cars, and I haven't been given a single chance to defend myself. Honestly, if I protest now, they're just going to think I'm trying to act cool, aren't they? I give it 2 whole minutes of serious thought and come to a very firm conclusion. Like it or not, my fate is sealed. I'm riding bumper cars today. The line for the bumper cars is way shorter than the one for the coaster, so Claire sends Luca to go wait. The second he gets in line, he becomes a magnet for adoring looks. Nearby, this little girl is having a total meltdown, and her dad has absolutely no idea what to do. But the moment she lays eyes on Luca, her crying just stops. Dead silence. She wiggles out of her dad's arms and bolts straight for Luca. With everyone watching, this tiny girl grabs Luca's hand, not a shred of shyness in her. She blinks her big, innocent eyes up at him and chirps, "Big brother, can we play together?" The girl looks about 5, maybe, barely up to Luca's shoulder. "Hey, no more tears. We're both here for bumper cars, right? Of course we can play together. There are plenty of cars. Come on, it'll be fun. Daddy, Mommy, I want to play with Big Brother. I like him. All right, sweetie. Daddy will go get tickets for both of you." So I'm watching this little girl just holding onto Luca's hand, talking a mile a minute. And Luca, he's just got this super patient smile, nodding along like he's totally invested. The two of them just chatting away. Honestly, the kid already knows how to charm the ladies. Seriously, what's he gonna be like when he grows up? Not that the girl isn't cute, but man, Chen is just way too smooth. I mean, have you ever actually listened to what little kids talk about? It's painfully boring. Stuff like, my dolly's eyes are super big, or my parents took me to a movie. Half of it doesn't even make any sense. And only Luca has the patience to actually listen. It's like his mission in life is to make this girl happy. Let's be real. No guy is actually into this stuff. Okay, you're right. He's totally just placating her. Not even 2 minutes later, another little boy wanders over, trying to get in on the conversation with Luca and the girl. The little girl just wrinkles her nose, total disgust on her face, and completely ignores him, talking only to Luca. Luca gives the kid a polite little nod, but then instantly turns back to the girl. Zero intention of letting this other guy join in. The poor kid gets the hint that he's not wanted. He just shuffles back to his parents, looking totally defeated. All right, I see it now. He is 100% just playing the charmer. When it's finally our turn, Luca gently guides the girl back to her parents. Then, without even a glance back, he grabs me and Claire and hustles over to the registration line. We hop into the bumper cars and get right to it. And from the way Luca starts driving, you can tell he completely forgot about that little girl. No waiting around for her. The best part about bumper cars, you can slam into anyone you want, no consequences. My driving skills are a total joke, but in here, it doesn't matter. The whole point is chaos. Luca is just ramming into everyone, having the time of his life, while also noticing how stunning Claire looks. A few guys even start deliberately targeting her car, trying to start a conversation mid-crash. But Claire? She's driving that thing like she's training for a Grand Prix, perfectly dodging every single car, not giving anyone a chance to even get close. I'm just watching this, completely speechless. The second Claire realizes she's the main target, she starts actively avoiding them. These guys can't even touch her bumper, while she sends them spinning. So naturally, they turn their attention to me and Luca instead. In the end, Claire purposely leaves an opening, baiting them to chase her just to get them off our backs. Finally, the ride from hell is over. The moment the attendant gives the signal, I drive straight to the exit, jumping out without a second thought. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. Luca gets out too, absolutely fuming. The second he's out, he grabs me and just starts ranting. Those guys were shameless, we don't even know them, and they just kept coming for us. And they weren't just tapping us, they were going all out. My head is still throbbing. I was even trying to save you at one point, but I got slammed from the side before I could even get close. Then a bunch of little kids started ramming me from behind. The more I got hit, the more I got knocked off course. I'm absolutely furious. Dude, it's not that deep. It's because you're cute, just like that little girl from before. She liked you, so she wanted to play with you. The kids in the cars probably thought you were cool too. That's why they kept hitting you. They just wanted to have some fun, so the ones who crashed into you, was it because you're so good looking too? I mean, you're a handsome kid, I'll give you that. But your driving is seriously awful. My auntie over there dodged a whole mob, and then she literally had to save you at the end, getting you out of that pileup. The second he remembered what Claire did, Luca just grabbed her hand without saying a word. He looked up at her with total awe. Auntie, you're a legend. Can you teach me? All those people were trying to hit you, and not a single one even got close. Thanks, I say to Claire. She gives me a quick nod, then turns to Luca with a deadpan expression. You're young and you're short. Your feet can barely reach the pedals right now, so don't get ahead of yourself. Focus on eating more and growing taller first. Some things in life, you just can't control, and height is one of them. Luca's ego just deflates. I mean, he's a decent height for his age, but he's still a kid. How's he supposed to compete with an adult? Hey, don't worry about it. When you grow up, you'll be even better than your aunt, I guarantee it. But for now, maybe an extra glass of milk before bed? I'll make sure you have it. Milk helps you get taller, you know. Even if you can't be as tall as an adult yet, you can at least aim to be the tallest kid in your class. Deal? So, what's the next ride? Okay, maybe not checking a guide was a terrible idea. As I'm internally panicking, this little kid starts yanking on his dad's hand, practically bouncing off the walls. The pirate ship! I want to go on the pirate ship! I immediately look at Luca. You want to try the pirate ship? Sure, I'm down for whatever. I pull out the map. The ship's right up ahead, super close. All right, let's do it. By the time we walk over, one group is getting off and the next is climbing aboard. Our timing was absolutely perfect. Except, thanks to where we were in line, we get stuck with seats at the very end, which means we're going to get swung way higher. Fantastic. Luca is buzzing with excitement, as usual, while Claire is calm and collected, as always. My stomach, on the other hand, is already starting a protest. I've literally never been on one of these things. And in every TV show, the main character gets off looking totally green and ready to barf. I might just be a side character in this world, but motion sickness does not play favorites. Ethan, why are you crushing my hand? It's starting to hurt. Oh crap, sorry, I play it cool, just, excited. Nervous? Me? Nah, I'm just excited. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But when I let go, I see the proof of my lie. Luca's hand is bright red. My stomach just drops. Are you okay? Does it hurt bad? I'm fine, he insists. It's nothing, but maybe tone down the excitement a bit. Then, out of nowhere, Claire speaks up. Switch places with him. Luca and I both look at her, completely lost. Why? To balance the weight. We both turn to look at the giant pirate ship. She had a point. All the other groups had adults on the ends with the kids sitting safely in the middle. Our setup was totally lopsided. All right then. Luca hops up, and we do the old switcheroo. So now I'm sandwiched right in the middle, with Luca on my right and Claire on my left. I barely even get my harness buckled when Claire takes my left hand, and Luca immediately grabs my right. Both of them. At the same time, and for a second, I feel completely protected. It's actually really sweet. Then the ship lurches to life, swinging higher and higher. People are screaming all around us, but to my relief, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. It's a thrill, for sure, but not terrifying. I think my breakfast is going to stay put, just as I suspected. Side characters like me are built tough. We don't get the delicate stomachs of a main character. The ride swings for a bit, then finally slows down. I feel Claire's grip on my hand loosen just a little. The second the ride stops, they both let go at once. Ethan, you were so brave. You didn't get sick or even cry. Way better than I expected. Inside, I'm thinking, I was only a little anxious, not genuinely scared. But there's no way I'm saying that out loud. So I just go with it. Well, I'm an adult. You did pretty good yourself, way better than I expected. You handled it well. A lot of adults are still total cowards. Like that person over there, Luca says, pointing to a woman by a trash can, completely losing her lunch into a plastic bag. See? She's having a really bad time. I look over where he's pointing. The woman is actually stunning. Even while being sick, she has this strange composure, this elegance that isn't diminished at all. It's wild. The park staff hurry over to check on her. The woman lifts her head slightly, and I catch a glimpse of her face. It's weirdly familiar, but no matter how much I search my brain, I can't figure out where I've seen her before. Don't point at people, and don't comment on strangers. Claire gently pushes Luca's hand down, her voice soft but firm. Luca instantly pulls his hand back and nods. Forget about them. Let's go. We've been here over 2 hours. Are you hungry? Thirsty? I unzip Luca's backpack and hand it to him, telling him to grab whatever he wants. Then I swing my own bag around, digging out a carton of milk for him. Thanks, Ethan. Make sure you and Auntie get something too. Asking Claire to eat snacks with us? Yeah, that feels like a final boss battle. I'm still debating it when Claire just takes both bags right out of my hands. What do you want? She doesn't say a single word about the junk food. I'm a little shocked. Maybe it's because we're supposed to be having fun today. Whatever the reason, I'm taking this opening. I pull out crackers and chips and a bottle of cola. I want junk food. Deal with it. Claire glances at my choices and surprisingly says absolutely nothing. When Luca opens his mouth to protest, she shuts him down with a single look, killing his "I want cola too" before it even had a chance. While I'm eating, I realize Claire hasn't touched a thing. The awkwardness is real, so I finally ask, "You want some too?" Come on, snacks aren't that bad, and all the additives are government approved. Besides, you never eat this stuff, so having it just this once won't hurt you. It's not that serious. You eat. She doesn't refuse, but the message is crystal clear. I go back to my chips, but try one last time. How about some water at least? I brought mineral water. Get a different one next time. Remember to buy the same brand of bottled water as usual. Okay, I sigh on the inside. Can't help but find it ironic. The rich Aries family is broke, but she's still drinking designer water. I genuinely have no idea what the difference is between one mineral water and another. Does water that costs a small fortune actually taste better than the cheap stuff? In the end, it's just water. After our little break, Luca decides he wants to watch a movie, so we start walking toward the cinema. Luca is chattering the entire way. Last time I came, we were supposed to see a film, but my parents were in a rush and we missed it. I've always wanted to see how the animation here compares to a regular movie theater. I finally get my chance today. My classmates all say the movies here are amazing. I'm honestly curious myself. Just how different could they possibly be? Honestly, I think it's all in his head. This kid is set for disappointment and I can just feel it. The problem with being a boy genius? Nothing ever surprises you because you've already seen it all coming. And just like I predicted, Luca is pretty hyped walking in. He's all smiles at first, but a few minutes later, total boredom. He's already tugging on me and Claire, begging to leave, and the second we're outside, the complaints start. This movie is just like every other generic flick out there, and I actually got my hopes up for this. It was all a scam. My classmate totally tricked me into wasting my day. I can't believe this. I'm so getting him back at school. Whoa there, kid. It's not like that. Your friend probably thought it was genuinely amazing. You know, different people, different tastes. I'm seriously worried he's going to confront the poor kid, who'll just say something like, but watching it with my parents made it special. And man, that would be like pouring salt directly into Luca's wounds. I guess if your world is small, anything can seem impressive. That's when Claire gives him a quick smack on the head. Hey, watch your mouth. Talking behind people's backs is rude. I see, he says, rubbing his head. Just like that, the snotty look vanishes, and he's back to being that sweet, innocent little angel. Except, there's this weird glint in his eyes. What are you thinking? Oh, nothing, he says. Just that anyone impressed by a movie like that probably hasn't seen much of the world. I just stare at him, completely speechless, in less than 3 seconds, with just one tap on the head from Claire. This kid spontaneously figured out how to deliver a savage, polite-sounding insult. Is this okay? Is he supposed to be like this? I turn to Claire, my body stiff as a board. She seems completely oblivious, giving Luca a pat on the head like she's proud of him. Wait a minute, hold on. Is this really a healthy way to raise a kid? Luca totally knows that kind of comment makes the other kid look pathetic, while leaving them with zero comeback. He did that completely on purpose, didn't he? Don't worry, Ethan, he says with a little smile. I'm a good kid. I get along with everyone. I force a smile back. We've pretty much hit every ride the park has to offer. I check my watch, it's already past 11. Almost noon. Should we grab some lunch? I'm not starving, but we need a real meal. Can't just live on churros and popcorn. I want fast food. I get it when other kids say that. But you? You're the kid who eats gourmet meals every single day. And you want times that time stuff? Not gonna lie, I'm a little offended. I pour my heart and soul into cooking every day, and this little dude still craves a burger and fries. Please don't let Claire think I'm slacking off. I just want to try it, he says. The vibe is just different, you know? Even if I eat amazing food daily, it doesn't mean I can't switch things up sometimes. Auntie, please, just this once? One time won't kill me. A little junk food won't make me sick. Come on, just let me be happy today. Claire just stands there, looking as tall and elegant as always. Seriously, Luca's got some nerve. I would never have the guts to grab someone like Claire's arm and start begging, but in the end, she caves. She takes Luca to the fast food joint and asks if I want some too, or something else. Either way is fine with me. It's been forever. Honestly, it really doesn't matter to me, but now that I think about it, it has been a long time since I've had fast food. I'm actually kind of craving it now. Might as well just go for it today with Luca. Speaking of which, I almost forgot. I made a deal with Luca earlier. Hey, Luca, weren't you going to go check the prices in there? Oh, right. He remembers. We totally agreed on this before we left home. He immediately lets go of our hands and darts over to a nearby souvenir shop, and I run right after him, way too crowded to let him go off alone. When Luca walks out of that shop, his face is a mask of pure shock and disbelief. A single bottle of water costs double the price. This is insane. It makes no sense. Oh, it makes perfect sense, kid. It's called a tourist trap, and this is nothing. A roasted corn on the cob that costs 4 yuan outside? It can sell for 10 inside a tourist spot. Why? Because it's a one-and-done deal. Tourists come, they buy stuff, and they leave. They're never coming back. And most people who buy food here are the ones who didn't pack their own snacks. When you're hungry enough, price stops mattering. Plus, you can afford it, so you just buy it. And then there's the overhead. Oh yeah, and the cost factor your aunt mentioned. The corn itself is cheap, and roasting it doesn't cost much. But to even sell that corn inside the park, vendors have to pay insane fees to the management. All those fees get passed straight to the visitors. That's why the price is always insane, which means the real winner is the owner. I mean, think about it. You build the place, hire a few people, and then just watch the money roll in. Plus, ticket sales on top of all that, it's a gold mine. Man, this kid really grew up surrounded by business talk. The speed of his thinking is honestly impressive. When I was his age, I was probably just running around like an idiot. But then, there's the catch. How do you even get the government to give you the land? And where does the mountain of cash to build it come from? Not to mention finding good people to run the place, and then keeping it all from falling apart. Every single one of those steps has to be planned perfectly. That sounds complicated. But whatever, I'm still young. I'll have it all figured out by the time I'm a grown-up. I'll find a way. If only life were really that simple. I just shake my head on the inside. Claire was just making a point, trying to show Luca that things are never as easy as they look. Actually trying to do it, the problems would be unimaginable. Even someone as brilliant as Claire has failed before, and you can't say she didn't know how it worked. Turns out, knowing the theory doesn't mean you can win the game. There are just too many things you can't control. Most of the time, it's not even up to you. Stuff like that, ridiculous luck that follows main characters around forces that defy all logic. Back at the apartment, life falls back into its usual rhythm. My entire existence is structured. I wake up on a schedule, cook, clean the place, and then sit down to write. After lunch and another round of tidying, I take a nap. Then I wake up and get right back to writing. Sometimes I'll do a little research or prep some design sketches for freelance gigs down the line. Evenings are pretty much the same. Dinner, then more writing, maybe browsing some websites. If I'm lucky, I'll watch a drama to unwind a bit. On top of that, there's laundry, deep cleaning, grocery shopping, and of course, staying in shape. The grind never stops. Whenever Luca needs a change of scenery, I take him out. The museum, the library, anywhere to kill some time. Claire is busy. Always. Busy with what? I have absolutely no clue. She only ever shows up for breakfast and dinner. At night, she checks in on Luca's day. She's never said a word about me taking him out, so I'm just assuming she's cool with it. But even in this quiet life, some problems just don't go away. So one morning I bring it up again, the housing situation. Luca glances over at Claire. For him, bedtime has become this silent torture. When he's sharing a bed with his mom, he's too scared to even move. He is desperate for his own room, a place where he can finally toss and turn all he wants. I've already found a house. We can move in next week. As for buying a place, there's a new development that looks good opening up the week after. We can check it out then. Claire just lays it out, simple as that. And finally, I can breathe again, so she didn't forget about me. The next week, just like she promised, Claire tells me to start packing. It's time to move, Auntie. I'm getting my own room and a bookshelf. The bed can be small, just big enough to sleep in is fine. While we're waiting for the movers, Luca just doesn't stop talking. Yes, yes. I knew you were the best auntie. Ethan, we're moving somewhere bigger. Are you happy? And with that, the three of us, Luca, Claire, and me, start packing up our lives. Of course I'm happy. Why wouldn't I be? But honestly, I don't really feel much of anything. It's not my house, never will be, so where I live doesn't really make a difference. As an only child, I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment, quietly spoiled by my parents without any big fuss, so I've never really craved a bigger space. When a person has never gone without love, never faced real money problems, and isn't a super ambitious type, they usually don't have that burning hunger for material things. And yeah, that's me. Someone who looks totally ordinary on the outside, but has actually lived a pretty damn happy life. To be honest, I kind of like small apartments. They're cozy, easy to take care of. But cozy is one thing, reality is another. After all, I can't let Luca share a room with his mom forever. I'm happy too. I'm gonna make money and buy so many books. This place doesn't even have a real study. I've been dying for ages. And there it is, Luca's biggest complaint. The apartment is just too small for anything. And since it's a rental, Claire couldn't give him a proper study like the one he had at their old villa. With nothing else to do, he's been stuck watching brain-numbing kids' cartoons. And you look bored out of your mind. But you've been glued to those cartoons. So what's the deal you actually like to read? I only watch them because there's literally nothing else to do. I'm not really into childish cartoons, but the other kids in my class are. And Auntie told me, you can be smart, but if you're not in a position of power yet, you can't act all high and mighty around people. Otherwise, when things go down, you'll be completely shut out. Wow. Okay, Claire is on another level. Luca is just a kid, and she's already teaching him stuff this deep. What else did I say? You also said to just act like everything is normal. Like just now, I shouldn't have called my classmates stupid just because I think I'm smarter. Even if I think it, I have to tell myself my classmates are all totally fine. If I had tea in my mouth right now, I would have spit it everywhere. A grade schooler is being taught life lessons like this? I feel like a complete idiot when I was his age. I didn't learn this stuff until high school, and I had to figure it out all by myself. Go on, read. Claire just reaches into a box and grabs a random book. She hands it to Luca, who takes it without a word. Doesn't even look at the cover. Just flips it open and starts reading. I sneak a peek at the title. It's called The Art of Calculated Cunning. Yep, the apple does not fall far from the tree. A simple person like me should probably just keep her mouth shut from now on. The moving truck shows up pretty fast, but honestly, there isn't much to move. When I actually start sorting through things, I realize most of the stuff in this apartment I bought, and it's pretty much all just household supplies. Luca is the one who finally cracks, signaling Claire to say something to me. Only then do I finally let go of the absolute basics. You know, things like cooking oil, salt, and soy sauce. One silver lining? All those clothes that used to take up my entire room have mostly been sold, so packing them up was way easier. The new apartment is in a different complex not too far away, with way better security and a nicer neighborhood. Once we get inside, I see the layout is amazing too. As a designer, I do a quick walkthrough, and gotta admit, Claire picked a winner this time. The place has basic renovations done, and the style is my absolute favorite minimalist. Black, white, and gray. Timeless. Easy on the eyes no matter where you look. Even the furniture is a perfectly matching set. And best of all, the balcony has a swing. It's a dream I never even knew I had, to just sit on a swing and read. Wow, this place is so much better. I love it. I like it too. Meanwhile, Claire is already directing the movers with those long strides of hers, telling them exactly where to put everything. She glances over at the two of us, seeing how happy we are. And just for a split second, her eyes soften. Then, just as fast, she's back to bossing the workers around. About an hour later, the movers are done and gone. I pull out the cleaning rags I brought and wave one at Luca. Luca, time to work for our new home. I'll handle the tables and sweeping. You get everything else. No problem. I'll do windows and mopping. What about me? Claire's sudden voice makes us both freeze. Huh? Auntie, you want to help? You really don't have to. The two of us can handle it. We're good. The idea of his aunt doing housework? It's never even crossed his mind. He's never seen it. The very thought just feels fundamentally wrong to him. Yeah, we got this. You can go handle your own stuff. In all this time, I have never seen Claire lift a finger to do any of this. I got to admit, seeing her do manual labor would make me feel genuinely guilty. I'll do the windows. You two handle the rest. She looks at the massive floor-to-ceiling balcony windows and just assigns herself the hardest job. No discussion. Before I can say a thing, she takes the other cloth from my hand. I feel her fingers brush against mine, and a shiver runs right through me. What's wrong? Cold? No. It's probably just too much internal heat. Haven't been drinking enough water. It's nothing. I'll just chug some water for a few days. It's definitely not because she touched me. I'm not that fragile. Just eat fewer snacks. A dagger. Shot straight through my heart. My face just falls. Hearing this, Luca glances between us. The second he confirms Claire isn't looking at him, he makes a lightning-fast dash out of my bedroom. If he doesn't bolt now, that dagger might be aimed at him next. He's not giving up his snacks. I immediately deny it. I haven't been. The only reply I get is Claire's back as she turns away. The trash bag gets changed every day. Okay, so where is all this trash even coming from? I smack my hand. Right. Asterisk. That asterisk. But Claire's a ghost. She leaves before sunrise and gets back after dark. Total workaholic. Always locked away in her room. So how does she still manage to spot the one stray trash bag? It's like a superpower. That's it. New mission, fewer snacks, more water. Time to get to work. And little Luca? So innocent. Wiping down a table, no idea that in one single moment I've just become the villain of his story. His snack supply is officially on the chopping block, all because his aunt decided to open her mouth. Yeah, if he knew his cookie stash was on the line, he would have put up a fight, not vanished at the first sign of chores. An hour later, the apartment is finally spotless. A good chunk of that time was me sweeping while secretly studying Claire's every move for research. I'm definitely not about to admit she's the secret inspiration for my next main character. Look, she's the one who kept bringing up the snacks. And in this world, it's not like the real her exists anyway, so fair game. Using a real-life CEO like Claire as a protagonist, that's not just a story that's a guaranteed bestseller. I'll just conveniently leave out the whole bankruptcy disaster. I'll write her in her prime, the glory days. It'll still sell like crazy. Ethan, you're staring at my aunt with a super weird look today. But I guess it's cool, I'm sure she won't mind. I mean, you two are married, right? No need to be all shy about it. Your time's supposed times to like my aunt. It'd be way weirder if you didn't. Isn't that what being married is all about? Liking each other? Seriously, could this kid get any cuter? I almost choked, trying not to laugh right in his face. And just then, Claire rounds the corner, cleaning cloth in hand. She overhears our little chat and just freezes, a totally unreadable look on her face. A second later, her footsteps start again and she walks past. The moment she's in the other room, Luca and I clam up. Conversation over. After the cleaning marathon, I'm surprisingly not dead on my feet. Guess I'll actually cook tonight. There's a huge supermarket nearby, way better than our old one. This is gonna make life so much easier. First things first, gotta scope it out. Grab some vegetables, fruit, the healthy stuff. For once, Luca actually wants to come. But then Claire chimes in, saying she'll go too. I try to shut that down fast. You really don't need to. I can carry it all myself, I insist. It's my first time, so I'm not even buying that much. Just enough for tonight. I'll be quick. You've been cleaning all day, go rest. She just smirks. If I don't go, who's gonna help you carry all your snacks? Is she ever gonna drop this? Then again, she's not wrong. I do want snacks. And arguing with a rich CEO is pointless. Fine. She can come. We ended up buying a ton. Between the two of us, we hauled back 3 massive bags of groceries. Watching a CEO lug grocery bags feels wrong. But hey, maybe she'll think twice before commenting on my lifestyle again. That first night, we all slept great. At least, Claire never said anything. But honestly, having Luca in the room with me felt weird. I've had my own room my entire life. I'm just not built for sharing my personal space. Even though Luca is super quiet and barely moves, just having another person breathing in my zone totally throws me off. I'd been running on fumes all day, pretending I wasn't exhausted. I finished washing up, hit the bed, and was out like a light, a total knockout, slept straight through till morning. Luca, of course, was in heaven. A whole bed to himself meant he could starfish all night long. Pure bliss. Over the next 2 days, all three of us could really feel the upgrade this new place gave us. Then, one morning, Claire drops the news. That housing complex I told you about, the sale just went live. We're going. I had been waiting for this, for so long, a chance to finally have my own place in this world. Not that Claire hasn't been good to me. And Luca is a genuinely awesome kid. I guess you could even call us friends, even if our whole situation is completely undefined. But the truth is, I don't belong here. Claire is a side character from a story. Ethan was her husband, Luca, her nephew. Everything I have right now has nothing to do with me. I'm just an imposter who crashed the party. A home, though, that changes everything. It's an anchor, a place in this world that is 100% mine. So even if things with Claire totally go south, I'll have a place to fall back on. I can keep writing, keep freelancing. This would be my foundation, my own piece of solid ground. Sure, my writing pays enough to rent a place, but this is about security. The place Claire takes me to is a bit of a drive from our apartment, and property in this city, it's on fire right now. There is no shortage of buyers scrambling for a spot. When we get there, the place is a madhouse, a massive crowd swarming the entrance. But Claire, she doesn't even blink. She just leads me right past the chaos, straight through the staff entrance. She may be a fallen powerhouse, but when she walks into a room, people still pay attention. Even without her pulling strings, people treat Claire differently. But here, they weren't just being polite, they were treating her like actual royalty. Following in her wake, I got my first taste of real VIP treatment. Smack in the middle of a chaotic, packed sales event. We were led straight into a private lounge. The whole place was ridiculously luxurious. The staff served us tea that smelled so expensive, I was almost afraid to drink it. I don't know a thing about tea, but even I could tell this stuff cost a fortune. Seriously? We're just here to see a property. Was all this necessary? Do you know the owner or something? This development? Tina built it a while back to shut her family up. This is her last real estate project, so just pick any apartment you want. Pay the normal rate, nothing more. Even if her friend developed it, this whole special treatment thing feels like cheating. Is this really okay? If Claire were buying it for herself, fine. But this apartment is going in my name. Using her influence for my own benefit just feels sleazy. Besides, Tina has made it crystal clear she is not my biggest fan. The last time I saw her, she gave me this freezing, dismissive stare. I saw it loud and clear. Claire just cuts in. You'll pay the full price. She's just letting you get first dibs on the units. They're going to make money no matter what. It's no big deal to her. These 3 buildings have the best layouts and are in the best locations. Ignore the bottom 6 floors and the top 6. Pick any unit you like in between. See anything you like? All right, fine. I'll stop overthinking it. She said to pick one, so I'm picking one. Worst case, I can just buy another place later, right? With that, I actually started studying the floor plans. I might be an interior designer, but I know a thing or two about architecture, and honestly, these buildings were seriously impressive. After going back and forth, I finally decided on a 3-bedroom, 2-living-room unit. My brain immediately jumped to 2 scenarios. Plan A, we actually stay married, and the 3 of us can live there. Plan B, we get divorced, the place is mine, and it becomes 1 bedroom, 1 studio, and 1 game room. Perfect. Once I made my choice, it was time for the site tour. Claire led the way with a staff member, and I followed. The facilities outside weren't finished yet, and the hallways were still a chaotic mess. Normally, developers sell the units first, then build, I asked. Why'd they do it backwards? Because I told her, Claire said simply, that if the quality is good, it'll sell. Property values are always rising, so waiting just means a bigger profit. And there it is. No wonder she's such a big shot in the high-stakes construction world. Not like me, the transmigrated guy faking his way through everything. Her insights are 100% the real deal.